for the type of energy only Darren McCarty and Neil Rule can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D!
Right here in the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule, Flannel Sam in for D-Mac. We got Spencer Raxter.
Hello.
I live for that. I live for the hello. I do, man. Especially on a Friday. Nickel Package Friday. We got our guy Chase in the building as well, stepping in for KG. Chase, what's really good?
Yo, what's up? How's it going, Neil?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. I'm excited to work with you, as always. But yeah, jump into that Woodward Sports chat thread. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. And get your thoughts in there, man. Jump in it. But we got the nickel package. We got a couple house cleaning things to get to. Number one, Flannel.
Yes.
It is Bourbon Friday.
Oh, yes.
Shout out New Holland Brewing Company. They sent over the beer barrel bourbon. Little personal story. This was a bourbon I learned on, everyone. So, salute, everybody. To Broder.
To Broder.
Last day, absolutely.
Yep. Imagine being a Brewers fan, by the way. Another postseason choke, which is basically par for the course for that franchise. And just imagine you're a Brewers fan. Your team leads the division pretty much wire to wire.
Every year.
And you don't even make it as far as the Tigers. You just hate to see it.
Why you got to speak ill on the Brewers?
Because they had it last night. They had that big 2-run home run in the bottom of the seventh, and then Devin Williams blew the save by giving up a home run to Pete Alonso. That's just a really hard way to lose. It looked like the Brewers were about to actually do something, and then they just are allergic to postseason prosperity.
Yeah, word on the street is I guess he was tipping his pitches
That's
or whatever.
Yeah.
So but get in there. Mike G. Neil, can you give a shout out to Bunting Broder on today's show? Thanks, man. No, absolutely, man. Certainly going to miss Matt Broder. Fine Michigan man.
Yes.
Very fine Michigan man.
Oh, yeah.
He's still doing Woodward and Maine, though.
Yes, he is.
So it's not a funeral for the man. All right? Like, he's still here, still part of the network, still our guy. For some reason, still likes bunting. I don't know. You explain it. But, hey, Broder is our guy for sure. But, yeah, jump into there. So a couple house cleaning things to do. As you said, the ALDS and the NLDS are all set up. So we'll be talking a little bit about that. We got Tigers nickel package, Lions nickel package, football, college, NFL, all of it there. So we're certainly going to get into it. Pete Smith, did they announce the Tigers starting pitcher tomorrow? Yes, TBD, who I think is 11-0 or something like that for the Tigers this season. But yeah, it is incredible.
Yeah.
Because the further we go along in this, the more I start thinking back on it. I've never seen anything like this in sports.
No,
for real.
And it was. The Tigers really had no choice with the injuries to Casey Mize and Reese Olson, with Jack Flaherty getting traded, with Kenta Maeda being an absolute bum. They had no choice. But whether it was Holton, whether it was Hannafy, whether it was Brisky opening games, or whether it was Faedo at some points, they got the job done more often than they didn't. And of course, we all know the Tigers win the majority of games that Skubal starts, and that's one of the stories of how the Tigers were able to make that run. And, you saw it in the wild card. Skubal start, bullpen day, 2-0.
It's absolutely insane, man. Absolutely insane. But jump into that Woodward Sports chat thread. Let's get it rocking, everybody. By the way, did you see Woodward Sports on national TV
Yeah,
today?
shout out.
Did you see that, Spenny?
I did see that.
Electric, man.
Oh, yeah.
Braylon getting some love. What was it? Was it Get Up?
Yeah, it was at Get Up in the morning.
There it is right there.
And they are literally operating in a one-season window. Yeah, this reminds me of 2009. We had an unexpected opportunity.
2009 Jets. We don't make it to the championship game without Braylon Edwards. They're comparing Devontae Adams, who you figure is eminent, going to the Jets to our guy Braylon Edwards. So Braylon getting some love, and love to see it, man. The guy was an absolute force. And you know what's funny, Flannel? You may not know this, and I've had people ask me about this before. They say, how do you and Braylon, get along? Because you're kind of critical of Michigan football. Braylon and I are tight. I don't know if
Yeah.
people know
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Like, Braylon and I are pretty tight. So
yeah.
he's one of the more realistic Michigan people out there. And he played.
He is, and he was even more valuable than you think to those Jets teams. He would have had a couple more 1,000-yard seasons if their offense was built a little bit differently. They were more run-oriented. They had Mark Sanchez. But you know what? In big-time moments in the playoffs, Braylon Edwards always stepped up. So shout out to my former idol and now my current coworker and friend, Braylon Edwards.
Woodward Sports Chat thread, Mike G. 09 Braylon was the ish, man.
Yeah, he was.
He was flat out unstoppable. And, you know, it's funny. I think sometimes his pro career doesn't get the accolades that it deserves.
It doesn't.
He's the all-time single-season touchdown reception leader for the Cleveland Browns, for a franchise in the NFL. Like, no one caught more touchdown passes in a season than Braylon Edwards. And you just heard people talking about the impact he had on the Jets. I wonder if you think it's maybe because he was such a legend at Michigan and he wasn't, like, didn't play for the Lions or whatever.
Sure. I mean, God, I think it's people, and I don't blame people for this, by the way, who aren't really associated with Michigan, who just see a top 5 overall pick, who didn't put up quite the numbers that maybe is expected from that draft position. And Braylon would even tell you himself, and this isn't a shot at him, but that's probably the reason why it slept on. But he certainly was not a bust. He was a very, very good pro wide receiver and the greatest receiver in Michigan history.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even understand how that comes into the equation. Like, you played for the Jets in a conference championship
I
game,
know.
which in and of itself is a unicorn.
Yep.
And then you're the all-time touchdown reception leader for a single season for an NFL franchise. You know, the Cleveland Browns.
I mean, he had an 80-yard touchdown in the playoffs. I mean, come on. I mean, he's got really good playoff numbers. And like I said, on those Jets teams, he was wide receiver 1. They just didn't throw the ball as much.
Nah, no doubt. Just a fan. Neil, admit it. Broder proved to you that bunting has a place in baseball. How many times we got to go over this? For every footage he sent me of it working, I showed you people with their playoff lives on the line try it and be out of the playoffs.
I mean,
Tigers bunted.
Yeah, they did. It didn't work, but the Astros
Lead runner out.
And then but the Astros bunted before, and it did. So yeah, it works some of the time. It doesn't.
I forgot about that,
Yeah,
Spenny.
yeah.
I should have been blowing up the Woodward chat about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's on me. That was a missed opportunity. Absolute missed opportunity. But yeah, Tigers nickel package coming up in just a little bit because we are going to lead off with it. But Flannel, how you feeling, man? Coming into this series, how you feeling?
I mean, I think that if you're the Tigers, if you're looking at things where the Guardians can beat you, I look at two different things. I look at their bullpen, which has been the best in Major League Baseball, and I look at Jose Ramirez, who is one of the most notorious Tiger killers in all of Major League Baseball. So I just look for the Tigers to get out and get to some early leads on their starters. I'd love to see Riley Green and Kerry Carpenter put up maybe a hit RBI combo against Tanner Bybee in Game 1 because you don't want to go into the 7th or 8th and certainly not the 9th inning trailing against the Cleveland bullpen. You certainly don't want to get to the 9th trailing by 2 or 3 and have Emmanuel Clase face you. But, you know, they don't have an ace like Tarek Skubal. They don't have any ace, Cleveland, and I think they've got a lot of parts of their lineup which are very pitchable. Guys like Will Brennan, guys like Bo Naylor, guys like Tyler Freeman. And I'm not trying to be dismissive, but they don't really put fear in the heart of me. If you're a Tigers pitcher, you probably got to look at them as you got to get these guys out. However, games aren't played on paper because I'm sure the Houston Astros felt that way about Jake Rogers and Trey Sweeney. And look what happened there.
The thing about it is like what they did in Game 2 against Houston, down 2-1 going into the 8th.
Yeah.
That won't play because Clase's coming in, and if it's got to be 2 innings, it'll be 2 innings. And there is a segment of people who I think have lost their mind, but whatever, nonetheless, baseball writers, you know, a lot of them are older. They have already lost a piece of their mind. There are a fraction or a faction, I guess you could say, a fraction and a faction of people that think that Clase should be the Cy Young winner. They believe that.
Here's the thing, though. And I'm being dead serious, and I made this confession on Wake Up Woodward yesterday. If the roles were reversed and Emmanuel Clase was on the Tigers and Tarek Skubal was on the Guardians, we don't want to live in that world. I'm just doing a hypothetical. I might be caping up for Emmanuel Clase too.
Did you cape up for Jose Valverde?
Clase, this version of Clase is better than any version of Valverde.
You went
Clase-
47 for 47 on
Clase-
save attempts. I mean, it's pretty similar.
Clase's got like a 0.6 ERA, dude. Like, Clase is dominant.
The bottom line is, though, when you're a closer,
Yes,
Do you end up shaking hands?
you do.
And every single time.
Every single time.
Dude, Papa Grande, like in this town, I know what his legacy is. That season is slept on / ignored / whatever. 47 times he came into the game to save it. And 47 times you ended up shaking hands.
No, I understand that. It's just I don't.
But I agree with you.
I don't want people, and I don't think anybody's doing this, by the way. But I don't want people to use the whole, Class A shouldn't win the Cy Young over Tarek Skubal, which he shouldn't, by the way, to transition into dismissing Emmanuel Clase. As I said before, you do not want to go into the 9th inning trailing against that man. And another stat on the Cleveland Guardians, which I think is absolutely mind-boggling. Did you know that they have the least amount of quality starts in the American League? The least. And it's not even that surprising given who some of their starting pitchers were, like Tristan McKenzie and the like, and that Shane Bieber was out and Alex Cobb was out. But they have the number 1 bullpen ERA in the AL. So that's why I said, if you're the Tigers lineup, if you're Riley Green, if you're Kerry Carpenter, I'm looking to jump on Tanner Bybee in the first inning and get a couple runs on the board right away.
Well, I think they're always looking to jump on the pitcher and get runs every inning.
But Cleveland is uniquely vulnerable to that situation and has a uniquely dominant bullpen. Like you said, 2-1 against the Astros.
That game 2 of the Astros series, if it's like that against Cleveland, they lose.
That's fair.
They lose.
That's fair. Because it's not even close. Cleveland's bullpen has been the best in baseball, not just the American League, by a pretty wide margin.
I mean, yeah, they were over 20 games above 500, man.
Yes.
With a lineup. Like, look, their lineup does kind of replicate the Astros to some degree. Like, it's very top-heavy.
It is.
Once you get to 6, they're very, very mid.
Well, and that's why I think you should have some confidence if you're the Tigers, because I get what you're saying, but the Guardians top heavy on paper is not as good as the Astros top heavy on paper, and then on paper, and the 5 through 9 on the Guardians is not as good as the 5 through 9 on the Astros. Again, we saw what Jake Rogers and Trey Sweeney and Andy Ibanez did in the wild card round. Anything can happen. I'm just saying that there's segments of this lineup that is very, very pitchable, and I don't fear Josh Naylor as much as I do Kyle Tucker, for example.
That's fair. Larry Roberts, playoff baseball, you can feel the magic in the air whether you're watching on TV or at the ballpark. It's electric. No, I always say one of the most electric things in sports is the 1-1 pitch in a playoff baseball game.
God, it changes so much.
It's either 2-1 or 1-2.
The percentages of getting a hit 2-1, 1-2 are they're it's so diametrically opposed that it's such an advantage being ahead in the count, and every pitch matters. I mean, you saw us all at these watch parties hanging on every single pitch, particularly in moments where there's runners on base, whether it be for the Astros, whether it be for the Tigers. It's just, there's nothing quite like it in all of sports, especially when we're invested in it because we're seeing Tiger playoff baseball. I feel like we almost forgot what that felt like.
No, we did, because I keep thinking about it every single time someone sends in a message like that. Colton's Cardboard, I hate that stupid Mario 1-up sound every time they score a run. We need to shut them out. Cleveland is aggravating. Like, their stadium, their fans never show up. Like, Cleveland bugs me a lot. The fact that they used to kick the piss out of us for about 15 years. I think they were like 49-1 against us over 15 years. I mean, they dominated us. I remember I was at a game down there at Jacobs Field or Progressive Park, whatever it was called at the time. And Tigers were up 7-4 going into the 9th, and I was sitting there waiting because I knew they were going to lose. And Jim Thome comes up with the bases loaded and hits it over the trees that they have out there in center field, and they win and walk off. And I said, okay, I just got up and got in my car and drove home from Cleveland.
Jim Thome, another notorious Tiger killer.
The greatest sign I ever did see, though, was at a Cleveland. I'll give the Guardians or Indians at the time fans credit for this. They had a sign that said, "Thome is my homie," and that was a great sign.
That's fair. That's fair. And just before we move on, I wanted to give specifics of Jose Ramirez and his career against the Tigers.
He's made a life against them.
A career 966 OPS, 33 home runs, 122 RBIs, and 155 career games. That's an MVP season he's had against the Tigers. But But
yesterday's prices are not today's prices.
Right. And as I said, if you want to say that Jose Ramirez is the Yordan Alvarez of Cleveland, I mean, Josh Naylor, Stephen Kwan, and David Fry don't put as much fear into me as Bregman, Altuve, and Tucker. And the Tigers pitching staff handled all of them pretty well. Again, it's not played on paper, but right now, what else can we do? We can speculate. We can make predictions.
DNC ENT, Suns versus Pistons preseason October 8th at Breslin. They kick off the preseason against Milwaukee on Sunday. When is it time for a Pistons segment or nickel package? Next week, I promise you. Okay. Spenny, mark us on that.
Sounds good.
Pistons nickel pay. You'll be in charge of it.
Got it.
That's your angle.
Love it.
That is your angle. Dispo.
Yes.
That's D-Mac's angle.
Absolutely. How would you like to like $10 of free products from Dispo Dispensary? Screenshot this image with a QR code and bring it into any Dispo location, and you'll get a free $10 to spend in-store with a minimum purchase of $25. Visit Dispo Dispensary today or disposhops.com. Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
All right, let's talk about New Holland for a second, everybody. Shout out to New Holland, too, for Bourbon Friday, the old beer barrel bourbon. That's the one I learned on. And I'll tell you what, they re-educated me as far as the seltzer genre goes. The Dutch Taller Long Drink. New Holland small batch gin made on the west side of the state. Grapefruit puree as well. That's easy to say, right? Everything into it. Tastes great. It's the best drink in the drink game, and it's right here in Michigan. New Holland, over on the west side of the state. People been asking in the chat, where do I get it from? A little store like Total Wine. You can go in there and buy a pallet of it. That's what I'm fins to do, as a matter of fact. Got to keep it in through the wintertime. Guys, seriously, it is my favorite drink ever now. Ever. So New Holland's got us covered, man. Between the bourbon, the taller, long drink, the tangerine space machine. It's New Holland's world. We're just living in it, everyone. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
What's up, everybody? Shop.woodwardsports.com. Hey, I don't know if you know this or not, but it's the political season. It's election season. Campbell Holmes, they have my vote. I'll vote for him just because I don't have to endure a commercial every 5 seconds every time I turn around. They don't need a commercial because they're elite, and we all know it. Get your Tigers gear. We got the Gritty Tigers gear there as well. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey. There's a Woodward Sports golf line also. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Nickel Package Friday, everybody. Woodward Sports chat thread, K.19. Best drink in the drink game. Okay, what about water, dumbass? Oh, thanks, K.19. Thanks. You were right. I undervalued water, K. Come on, bro.
I'd rather drink a long drink than a glass of water.
That's what I'm saying, too. Like, if you gave me the choices, I would drink a taller.
I would, too.
100 times out of 100.
Yes.
And then I would drink the water I need to stay alive, K-Dot.
There's water in taller.
How do you get by on a day-to-day basis, K-Dot? If you sit there and overanalyze everything, how do you get by? For real, what do you do? What do you do for a living? Who pays you? Why do they pay you? All right. What? I want to know.
No.
Can you show me?
I want to know.
Other strangers like me.
Let's go Red Wings party. Yeah, Dot. All right, let's get into it, everybody. It is nickel package time. Baseball. How about a starting five instead? Let's do that.
All right, the first question of the
real quick, breaking news, Stick. In taller, the #1 ingredient is water.
That is true.
Yeah, K-Dot.
Yeah,
All right,
K-Dot.
let's do it. Sorry,
First question of the starting five. Who needs to step up most in the ALDS?
We gloss over it because I think that it's become a given. Tarek Skubal's a non-negotiable. They have to be wins. They have to be wins. They have to. When he starts, you have to win. Period. End of story.
That's a great one, but I'm going to go with my man Riley Green because he didn't have his best series. He had a hit in game 1 and a walk in game 2, but, He's one of those guys that I think being an all-star, given what we've seen him do the whole season, that you're not going to keep this guy down for a 2-game series or a best-of-3 series and then a best-of-5. So I look for him to be one of the driving forces of the offense for this ALDS like he was for the team during the entire regular season.
Woodward Sports chat thread, DNC ENT says Colt Keith. I would like that, Spenny. You got to get your boy up in there, man.
That'd be nice.
Get it rolling. It's a big ask, I know, like of a rookie and stuff like that. But what the hell, man? We're at the roulette wheel again.
Dude.
We've been on a heater.
I will say this, though. The way that Colt Keith was taking walks, that shows inter-season improvement. That was one of my biggest issues with him at the beginning of the season. But he had 4 walks. 4 walks in 2 games in the wild card series. Those are just high-pressure situations in which he wasn't swinging at bad pitches. I love to see it.
Lots of talk about Riley Green. James Miller need Green to get going. It's just I think that we're not giving Tarek Skubal his due, if that's even possible. Like, it's just understood. No one's like, damn, can you believe this, dude? Like,
yeah.
He is the one. He's the one, and he delivers every single time.
More on him in a question coming up.
All right,
I promise I'll give him my due.
All right.
Give him his due.
All right, next question. Now that Skubal is officially going game 2 per AJ Hinch, who opens game 1?
Whoever AJ says. I don't think it matters. I mean, I can make a case for Tyler Holton. Remember, there's a day off too.
Yeah.
Like that's huge. If it were me, I would probably run Tyler Holton out there, try to squeeze 3 innings out of him, and keep it pushing.
I don't hate that, but I'm kind of going to go with the same stock answer as you. I know that it's boring. I know that I'm kind of cheating, but whether it's been Hannafy, whether it's been Brisky, whether it's been Holton, whether it was Faedo, who's obviously not available, whether you want to put out Reese Olson and give him a short leash, I don't really care because it's just kept working. My personal preference would be Reese Olson, but who am I to question? I wouldn't have had Tyler Holton starting game 2, but it happened and it worked out masterfully. So I'm just going to let go and let AJ Hinch.
Do you realize, like, this bullpen thing? You have to have 6 different guys come in, and everyone's got to be on that day, and everyone's got to get the breaks. Like, it's insane.
It's insane.
This whole thing is insane. Sorry to bring that up, but it's just insane.
Of
but
course
hey,
it is.
I'm here for it.
It should be Tyler Holton. 100% it should be Tyler Holton that starts game 1. You look at their lineup, and at the top with Steven Kwan, obviously Jose Ramirez, a switch hitter, but Steven Kwan and Josh Naylor, both lefties. You need to put Tyler Holton on there to get those guys out. It's the same thing as the Astros in that series. If you're doing game 1 as a bullpen day, do it as a full bullpen day where you're bringing in 6 different guys, giving guys an inning and a third, an inning and 2/3, and putting them in situations where they'll punch people out. I think it should be Tyler Holton, 100%.
A little bit of breaking news from TNT, TBS obviously as well. On the call for the Tigers game against the Guardians will be Brian Anderson, Jeff Francoeur, and Lauren Jabara, by the way, as a sideline reporter. So shout out LJB. Glad to hear that. We worked together at Oakland for a spell there, and she's a host with TNT for the NBA coverage, and she'll be doing sideline for the Tigers Guardians. Shout out.
The Neil Rule sideline reporter tree. It's pretty elite.
Saban-esque.
It absolutely is. Yeah.
All right, where are we at? Third pitcher.
All right, third pitcher of the starting 5. Should Jace Young be bumped down for another arm in this playoff lineup?
Yes. And if they don't, okay. But when they win and go to a 7-game series, no question.
That's fair. The reason why I'm going to say that I'm cool with Jace Young staying up and them keeping the arms where they are is the days off in between. You got, I believe it goes Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. So that means you don't have to worry so much about keeping bullpen arms fresh because you have the baked-in days off. Jace Young, to me, he's a guy, and I get it, he had some struggles, especially with hitting and his power, but that man had a .362 on-base percentage. If you need somebody to get a big walk, I trust Jace Young to do that. And you know how the playoffs work. We saw how that 8th inning worked. The inning was extended by walks to Colt Keith and Matt Vierling, which allowed Andy Ibanez to clear the bases. So I want Jace Young up as long as you possibly can. But I get with like the CS, you might change things up.
Burns says bring up Maeda.
No.
Hey, bring Javi back too while we're at it.
It'd probably be Montero if it's going to be anybody.
Woodward Sports Chat Thread, Let's Go Red Wings Party. The Neil Rule broadcasting tree is better than the Belichick tree because the disciples actually work out. That is true. That is true. Number 4.
Number 4, fourth pitcher in the starting 5. Who was your wild card MVP? I will only accept one answer.
In terms of the series,
the wild card series for the Tigers.
So this series right here.
No, the one against the Indians.
Or the Astros.
Astros, yeah.
Skubal.
What's the answer that you'd accept, Spenny?
The only answer I'll accept is Will Vest. Will Vest was absolutely electric. He stepped in the Skubal game, struck out 4 of the 5 batters he saw, closed down the club in game 2. You don't win those games without Will Vest.
Yeah, it's just, for me, it's every answer, just so you guys know, every answer you give me about the Tigers, it's Skubal.
That's fair.
Because it's a non-negotiable, and people don't even celebrate it. Like, we just act like it's our birthright for Skubal to win every game he pitches in.
Well, I'm going to celebrate it because I'm going to go with Skubal. And I get it. Will Vest, that was the best I've ever seen him pitch. But one of the reasons why he was able to be put in that situation is because Skubal had went 6 scoreless and the Tigers had spotted them 3 runs. With Skubal, winning game 1 in these wild card series, I mean, guess how many of the 4 game 1 winners won their series?
4.
Guess how many? All 4. It's very important to get that game 1.
Only one of them got to a game 3,
Only
right?
one of them got to a game 3. And that's the thing. We were treating this Skubal game as an auto dub. And I was a little bit nervous going up against Valdez. But if Skubal can be that, if he can be that person who you put on the mound and you can almost pencil in a win, that's as valuable as anything the Tigers have. And you saw it in the first game of the wild card series. He was exactly as advertised. 6 shutout, completely validating that Cy Young pitching Triple Crown season. So yes, for me, it's Tarek Skubal.
K.19. I'm with Neil on the Skubal debate, despite the water backlash. That was ridiculous. Well, Skubal is the taller long drink of the Tigers. He's the best, man. He's the absolute best. All right, number 5.
Number 5, finally, the 5th starter. How do the 2 games in Cleveland to start this series turn out? What happens when the Tigers are coming back to Detroit? What does the series look like?
This game 1 is such a toss-up, man. It's such a toss. I know the end of game 2. What do you got, Chase?
I think it's gonna be a split.
I think it's going to be a split too. I think the X Tribe will win game 1, and then we will take game 2.
That is a big ask to take 2 in a row at Cleveland after taking 2 in a row at Houston. So I'm going to go 1-1, and I agree with you. I think the Tigers lose game 1 and win game 2. And unfortunately, I think Jose Ramirez gets one in game 1, like a 3-run homer or something. But game 2 is the Tigers with Skubal.
And it's funny, man, because through all this, and I know there's like a lot of new money Tiger fans, which is, we talked about that. Totally cool. So why would you? Why would you be a sicko like me and watch all the games when you're 30 games out of first 2 years ago and stuff like that? Why would you? I can't hate you for that. The new money Tiger fans, I don't think that they understand this. If you are behind in the 7th inning, you lose.
Yeah.
The game is over. That is a non-negotiable. This isn't, mentally soft, mentally small Josh Hader we're talking about. This is the guy that rivals Skubal's season in Class A. It is over. It is over if you're down after 7 innings. Over.
And even if you don't want to use Class A2, you've got 4 other guys with ERAs below 2 and their bullpen to be the setup man.
Like as good as our bullpen is, one of the best, they're probably better if you go dollar for dollar.
They won the division despite being last in the AL in quality starts. That's insane.
That is insane.
That's
insane.
insane.
And remember, too, like this run the Tigers went on, they gained like no ground on Cleveland that whole time.
Sure. And I'm not even trying to glaze Cleveland or glaze their bullpen or Steven Vogt and all of that, but what they've been able to do this season is impressive. So I think a lot of the new money Tiger fans just think, the Tigers are going to go in and beat those bums in Cleveland. I'm not saying most people, but some. But Cleveland's formidable, but I do think they are gettable in some ways as well.
No, absolutely. The pregame show for Lions and really football in general on your football Sunday, that's a non-negotiable as well because we are doing it better than anyone else. It all kicks off 8 a.m. Sunday. Terry Foster, our guy, Matt Broder will be in the house. They're talking Lions. They're getting it all going on Woodward and Maine. And then they give way to the New Holland Brewing Company pregame show. Myself and Sean Belesian. Every Sunday game day, 10 a.m. to noon. Home games were live at Second Best, 42 Watson Street. It's brought to you by Sabbath Coffee Roasters and Tullamore Dew. We're doing football Sundays better than the flagship station, better than the TV networks. It's fact, not opinion. Tens of thousands of you watch every single Sunday, and we certainly do appreciate it. But make sure you tap into the New Holland Brewing Company pregame show. Woodward Sports Network, the best on football Sundays.
What about Caesars?
Caesars Sportsbook, they kind of go hand in hand, don't they? With the football Sundays. If you haven't yet, get in. Set up your account, use promo code Woodward1000. If you lose your first bet, you'll get it back as a free bet up to $1,000. Everyone, scan that QR code on the screen. All the betting stuff we talk about, we get our lines from Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. The app is clean, it's easy to navigate. The live lines, as you want to bet games in-game, I'm a big proponent of that. If you watch the Monday night watch party when we were sitting down, Flannel, I gave the people a trap. It was a nice little trap, no lose proposition. We did it courtesy of Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
1800 Tequila is the official tequila of the Lions watch party and post-game shows here at Woodward Sports. Make sure you enjoy smooth 1800 Tequila when you're watching the Lions get a dub next week against the Cowboys. They are official partner of the Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila, as smooth as it gets. Please drink responsibly.
Spenny's been known to tip one back at the Lions watch party.
I have been known.
You're familiar with that.
I'm very familiar.
Yes, you are, man. Get this man some Blanco, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I've done the Blanco with you before.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all about it.
That's what it's all about.
It is. My name is Neil Rule. That guy's Flannel Sam in for Darren McCarty. We got Chase in the building, Spencer Raxter. We have all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread as well. Real quick on a Nickel Package Friday. Greg Rounds. This is our hardest matchup the rest of the way. I'm honestly not scared about the Yankees or the Royals. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Sandy wants to know, what was the Tigers' record against the Guardians in the regular season? We played them a lot. Was it 9-8, right, or 8-9?
I think it was one of the two.
Yeah.
I'm not positive.
It was pretty much even.
Yeah.
I can't remember if the Tigers won it or the Guardians won it, but it was 9-8.
I think they took us by one game,
So it was
but we
9-8?
haven't played them since like June or July. It's
Right.
been a while.
Different team.
No doubt. As are we.
Yep.
As are we.
Yep.
No question. All right, let's shift gears. The Football Friday kicks in now. Detroit Lions, bye week, nickel package. Spenny, kick this ish off.
All right, Detroit Lions bye week. The first question of the nickel package. Did Jared Goff have his best game in a Lions uniform Monday versus the Seahawks?
It was the Kurt Henning game, Mr. Perfect. It can't be any better, right? Like structurally, you literally can't do any better than what he did. So I guess the answer's got to be yes, right?
Yeah, I guess if you want to say the playoff wins at Ford Field had more stakes and all of that, but I thought Jared Goff, that's exactly what you want him to be, and he showed off his strengths. I think his decision-making, his command of the offense, his mindfulness to get the ball in the hands of the playmakers, like you saw him do with J-Mo on that perfect pass, like you saw him do with David Montgomery. Who would have known that he would go 40 yards and truck Devon Witherspoon? But that was the Jared Goff and the Lions offense that we love to see, just on steroids because he didn't have an incomplete pass. Unbelievable.
Real quick in the chat, Todd saying 1800 silver is the best. Mike G. Spenny, I do like 1800. May have some Saturday and just sip it during the Tigers games. Jay Cruz in 71, 1800. Smooth. All right,
Facts.
second down.
All right, second down of the Lions bye week nickel package. Let's talk about Kirby Joseph.
You know, there was a wise man who, before this season started, and I'll be honest, I didn't take him as seriously as I should have, but there was a prophet among us. There was a man that saw the light through the darkness that we didn't see, wouldn't see, or quite frankly, couldn't see. There was only one man that tried to illuminate a light and let us know what was on the horizon for Kirby Joseph.
Tried to do.
We were non-believers. We were dismissive of it. It was cute. Like, we liked it. We all love Kirby. But there was one man that stood above the rest. There was one man that was sent to us from the heavens above that tried to enlighten us. We doubted him. We cast stones at him. However, look at him now. That man, no, is not Jesus Christ. It's Spencer Raxter, who resides in the booth. Spenny, you said that this man would lead the NFL in interceptions.
I did.
He said it would happen. He spoke it into existence. I mocked and scorned. I cast aspersions.
I definitely did too. I thought he would lead the Lions in interceptions, but not the NFL. But go ahead, Spenny. You talk about Kirby Joseph.
Yeah,
I mean,
you earned this.
I think you people in the chat owe this man an apology. Oh, I remember who you were. I remember you out there coming into the chat saying Kirby Joseph's going to get benched next year. Iffy Melifonwu and Brian Branch are a better safety tandem. Kirby Joseph should be the one taking a seat. You shut your whore mouths. You sit back there and you watch the best ball hawk in the NFL do what he does best. Kirby Joseph now has cornerbacks in front of him with a pulse, so he doesn't have to overcompensate for guys like Cam Sutton and Jerry Jacobs. Kirby Joseph now has Aiden Hutchinson performing at a Defensive Player of the Year level in front of him, so he can sit back and wait for a quarterback to have to make a rushed throw and get after it. Kirby Joseph now is a heat-seeking missile in the red zone, and wherever the ball is, you better believe Kirby Joseph will be there. He will lead the NFL in interceptions. He is the best ball hawk in the league, and he has the ball skills of a wide receiver. Did you see that catch?
Unbelievable.
Which catch cashed Spenny's 9th bet out of 9 bets on Monday night to end the game. Insane catch, insane ball control. Kirby Joseph, Jay Curbo to the moon. Love that guy.
Let's go Rebbing Sparty. I accept Spenmo as my Lord and Savior.
I'm glad.
Repent.
Welcome, my son.
Everyone in the chat, repent and you shall be set free.
I just couldn't. It pissed me off so much when I saw that shit. And you were there. Don't act like you weren't there, because I fucking saw it every day in the chat. Kirby's going to get benched. Kirby's not that good. Kirby won't be a starter on this team next year. Kirby is a top 3 player on this defense.
Yes, he is. Spenny, you can go move on. I got nothing to add. That was well said.
Mike G says, Spenny Jesus walks on water at Kensington Park and says hi to the ladies that are kayaking. Just walks across the lake.
How you doing?
Mike G also want to know, do you walk to Windsor? Like just right across the river?
Right across the river. Yeah. Walking by the ladies at Kensington. Hey, how you doing?
You know, it's just, you can't deny it. It happened at Illinois. The ball just fine. Kirby Joseph seems to really get lucky all the time, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's just lucky all the time.
Really lucky.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe someday someone will
And he
figure it
lays
out.
the fucking boom on people, too. Like,
And he's
that's
a friend of Woodward Sports.
And he's a friend of Woodward Sports. Him and Malcolm were on a Feldman broadcast.
Yep.
Long before their tales and legacies have been spun.
There you go.
But they were here. All right, next
Do
question.
we even have any more? Are there even any more worthy?
Nah.
There's not, really.
No, there's not.
Let's finish it up, though. We owe the people.
We owe the people. Next question of the nickel package. Is Aiden Hutchinson the clear front runner for Defensive Player of the Year a quarter of the way through the season?
Well, he didn't have a sack last week, so clearly he's slipping. Clearly. I don't see how. No, because Kirby Joseph is going to be. He's going to have 26 interceptions. Right? No, I mean, yeah, dude, because, again, contrary to popular belief, and judging by the tweets that you guys send me, you don't believe either, he did have another level to go to, right? And I will say this. he is operating at another level. Is that fair?
That's more than fair.
More than fair,
That's more
because
than
he
fair.
is.
Yep.
There was more to give, turns out. You guys got a funny way of saying, Neil, you were right. But, again, I was asking for that next level. I got it. He is, as it sits right now, he is player of the year caliber.
Absolutely. He leads in every major pass rushing category, whether it's sacks, whether it's hits, whether it's pressures, all Aiden Hutchinson. But honestly, to go back to Kirby Joseph really quick, if you were to do a top 5 right now, and I'm dead serious in no particular order, I would say Hutch is 1, and then the rest of the 5 would be rounded out by Fred Warner, Kyle Van Noy, Xavier McKinney, Kirby Joseph. Dead serious. The Lions have 2 of the top 5 Defensive Player of the Year candidates, leaders through the first 4 weeks of the season. And that's not hyperbole. Have you seen Kirby Joseph's numbers? Not only the 3 interceptions.
Pass breakups.
You know what his passer rating allowed when targeted is?
7.
Is it like 11?
It's 11.
Oh, I was close.
11. That's not QBR. That's passer rating.
Yeah.
He's given up a 36% completion percentage when targeted, allowed 0 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. So I know that was supposed to be about Aiden Hutchinson,
Wow.
but he's 1. Kirby's in the top 5 somewhere. Do I think Kirby's going to be able to sustain this? Maybe not, but he's going to continue to be a ball hawk. And Spenny, I'm with you. I know Xavier McKinney has 4, and he's really good too, but Kirby Joseph's, I think, is going to get 7 or 8, and I think that's going to be enough.
In the chat, Red Wings fan club, media calling Goff elite. No, you don't. You can, the terminology is perfect. You can call Goff perfect because he was absolutely perfect Monday night. You can't dispute it. Cannot find one mistake, everybody.
Well,
What?
I mean, he did technically give up safety at the end of the game. That's one mistake.
Well, he got the ball out.
No, it was a safety.
He got the ball
It was
out.
definitely a safety.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
It's
by the way.
okay.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
I'm
Yeah,
just
Well,
saying.
he didn't give it up.
The team.
The team
The
gave
team.
it up.
Yeah. I mean, you could have thrown it.
Wasn't his fault. He's perfect.
If he throws it away, it's intentional grounding.
You can't blame anything on Jared Goff.
Not
He
if
was
you
perfect.
throw it near a receiver away.
But then he's not perfect, Spenny.
Right.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Art
It's a
Vandalay.
double-edged sword.
Jesus does all core at Planet Fitness, to whereas Spenny does chest and arms.
It's true.
All right, let's get
Hit
let's
the gym
go
all
through it.
chest, no legs, but it is chest day, or it is leg day today, and I'm not looking forward to that. All right, next receiver, Will.
Well, Bourbon Friday's here to save you if you want it.
No, I'm all right. I do have to. If it was just leg day, I would drink bourbon, but I got to do 45 minutes on a treadmill too. And that's
Okay.
it. That's where
Ooh.
it gets a little. Yeah.
I should have brought my running shoes. I would have ran with you, Spenny.
The main ingredient's water.
Will Jamison Williams finish the season
Dot.
with 1,000+ receiving
Yeah.
yards?
I'll defer to you, Sam Flannel.
Spenny
What's he
also said it was going to happen.
What's he on pace for? What, about 12 honey?
13.
Yes.
All-purpose.
1300?
Yes.
You think he's going to get there, Flannel?
Yes, I do.
You think we should trade him for a 4th-round pick?
No, I do not.
Oh, so that's you've changed.
I have changed.
Oh, okay.
I have changed. Yes, Jamison Williams will get 1,000 yards because he's already well ahead of the pace. And if you get one of those 70 or 50 or
Tony
50,
D says no
Yeah.
in the chat.
Well, here's why he'll get it, because in the first 4 games, he's had 3 receptions of 50 or more yards. I can pencil him in, I think, for at least 3 or 4 more. And if you do that, even for a game, all you do is 1 catch for 55 yards and a touchdown, you are continuing on the pace for 1,000 yards.
Yep.
So yes, Jamison Williams will get 1,000 yards, and I will get a JMO jersey because that was my deal with the fine folks at Woodward Sports, and I'm a man of my word.
And one of these games, he's not just going to have 1 catch
Sure.
for 70 yards and a touchdown. He's going to have 3 catches for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Talking like Randy Moss.
Like,
thing.
yeah,
Flannel,
it's gonna-
Flannel.
you
And
know
then
it's gonna
Flannel will
happen.
break down on camera. He'll forget for a minute and be like,
Yeah.
Come on.
Like Cuba Gooding Jr. when he gets off.
come on.
But,
Come on.
yeah.
Come on.
That's true.
All right, 5th down.
All right, final question. Are the Lions still the clear-cut
Yes.
best team in the NFC
Yeah,
North?
Yeah, not even a doubt.
I think there's a doubt.
Not even a doubt.
No doubt.
All right, everybody get ready because the Vikings are going to get worked by the Jets.
The Vikings are playing better football than the Lions right now.
They are. Yes, they are. Neil, it's undisputed. It's undisputed. And for the record, I definitely, when it comes time to pick games, I'm probably going to pick the Lions to go into Minnesota and win.
I would too.
But the fact that
Minnesota's playing better football.
They
they
are
are playing better, they
Both
have a better
things can be
resume.
true.
Both things can be true.
They're not.
They went into Lambeau and won after winning against Houston and winning against San Francisco, and everyone's just like, those bum Vikings. They're not a threat at all.
Okay.
That's insane to me. And don't get me wrong. I think the Lions will win the division, but the Vikings are formidable.
Wait till the Jets beat them. Yes, the same Jets that beat Denver.
fine.
You know what? You guys are pushing me to this. I'll do it right now. I'll make it a get right.
Oh.
Jets plus the points. Get right. Get your morning off. And you guys know I don't like to venture out of my evening time slots.
Oh, yeah, they're in Mexico or something?
Yeah,
London.
more on that in the NFL nickel package, by the way. Jets are a get right, everybody. Book it. When we come back from the break, I'll update the get right before we go to the next one. Would you have something, Chase?
I was gonna say, I think they're in London. I think Spenny said they're in
Yeah.
Mexico City.
Tottenham, the joke Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham. Let me know when they do something. Tottenham.
Fair.
Fitting for the Vikings.
Don't even know what Tottenham is.
All right, fair enough. Where are we going with
It's a
this?
soccer team?
Lady Jane.
Lady
Yeah,
Jane's, yes. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back and relax and enjoy a $20 haircut special, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Just scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Have you ever thought about volunteering but don't know where to start? Start with the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign. Visit registertoring.com to sign up for shifts. You'll have an option to choose a 2-hour session at a physical Red Kettle site or participate in a virtual bell ringing shift to raise funds from the comfort of your own home. Virtual bell ringers can sign up and begin raising funds at any time. Traditional bell ringing begins on Friday, November 7, and runs through Christmas Eve, excluding Thanksgiving and Sundays. To sign up for volunteer shifts, visit registertoring.com.
Sports Network Nickel Package Friday, Bourbon Friday. Neil Rule, Sam Flannel, Chase, and Spencer Raxter. I got a text from one of my good friends. Dude, relax. Tottenham hate for no reason. What have they ever done? What's Tottenham ever done other than sell Harry Kane about 4 years too late?
I think I've seen people chanting, like, what do we hate? Tottenham. Something like that.
Do they choke a lot? I don't follow soccer much.
No,
but-
you'd have to go somewhere in order to choke. Like, you'd have to be in a big game in order to choke. I just hear about how good they are, yet I never see it. And they have, like, an elite player, and they wait 4 years, 5 years too long to sell them.
Who's better, Tottenham or Chelsea?
They're literally the same.
Okay.
They are literally the same.
That's fair. I know who Chelsea is.
I like Man City only because I hear they get a lot of hate. They get called like an oil club or
they're
something like that.
They're the Yankees of the Premier League.
Yeah, I don't know anything about soccer.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I don't hate them. I respect them. Like, get you some ownership that's going to go all in, you know? I'm a Liverpool guy. They're kind of very Moneyball.
Liverpool.
You know, they're like, granted, they spend a ton of money.
Yeah, the
You
Beatles.
have to. But they
All
spend the
Beatles.
least out of all those clubs, and they get the maximum amount of results. And when they have somebody that's perceived to be good, they sell them right away and turn them into Allison and Virgil van Dijk. All right, that's enough of the EPL. It's not an EPL nickel package, everyone.
Liverpool.
By the way, you guys just heard me say it. And real quick, the get right, by the way, was 57-29. However, we cashed the Tigers making the playoffs at plus 450.
That's true.
That I called plus 400 to
true.
make up for the Strickland
Got
deal.
a 4 spot.
So 61-29, right?
Yep.
Right? We have still open Michigan in the playoff at plus 120, which I still hold to. That
Michigan
one's
being
going
an
to cash.
underdog this week is crazy.
It's wild to me. It's absolutely wild to me. But the Jets are the get right. You'll see. You'll all see. All right. College football, sneak it in.
NFL,
sneak it in.
NFL, first question of the NFL Nickel Package. Will Patrick Mahomes have his first 0 interception game of the season on Monday night?
Man, we've been waiting a long time for that, haven't we? That's I'm impressed that you keep receipts like that against Flannel, Spenmo.
I know, right?
Hey, I'll defer to Sam Flannel. This is his question every single week about Jared Goff. Then Jared Goff answers by being perfect, something that Patrick Mahomes never has done. So you tell me, Flannel, is this the week that Mahomes doesn't turn it over?
Before we get into that, Flannel, let me put a little cherry on top. Patrick Mahomes has never won NFC Player of the Week.
Nope.
Just saying.
Not once.
Jared Goff won it.
Not never.
Wow.
Not never.
Oh,
ever.
wow.
Yep.
Oh, wow. The fact that anybody thinks there's receipts for being a Patrick Mahomes fan is insane. Have any of those interceptions cost the Chiefs a damn thing? The answer is no. And I'm not saying the Chiefs have always won games this year because of Patrick Mahomes, but they're 4-0. He's been the Super Bowl MVP.
So you're saying you don't believe what your eyes tell you?
He's been the Super Bowl MVP.
No. So you're saying you don't believe what your eyes tell you?
What do you mean by that?
You think he's playing well?
I think he's playing below his standard. He certainly is. There's no question about it.
But when I say the same thing about the Vikings, I'm an idiot. I don't know what's going on or anything like that.
No, because the Vikings are actually looking impressive.
But they can't be playing above their standard?
I will say, here's what I will say.
Chase.
No, that's fair. But what is our reaction going to be, to digress into the Vikings topic a little bit, what is our reaction going to be when the Lions beat the Texans by 3? We are going to be, I'm not going to say it because JC's in the room, we are going to be very excited. I'll just say that. I was going to use different words.
We're going to be bricked up.
Yeah, we're going to be bricked up.
I was going to use words worse than that.
Yeah. However, you don't want to call from HR.
We're going to be screaming in our shorts.
Well, there you go, Spenny. I appreciate you saying it.
Got it.
But when the Vikings do it by 27, it's just like, who cares?
No.
Still
Stop,
bombs,
Flannel.
still
Stop.
bombs.
Stop. When they beat them, if C.J. Stroud plays his worst game as a professional, like he did against Minnesota.
Okay, so the Vikings get no credit for that. They're revamped.
No, they got a very fine defense.
Okay,
very fine defense.
Thank you. I'm just.
They are not a threat to win anything of significance. They are not.
We'll see.
I don't know how this turned into a Vikings thing.
It did.
The question was about Patrick Mahomes. You think this is the week?
It is.
He finally rises up and gets it done.
But he's still beyond reproach in every single way, and everybody in the chat knows that. Everybody knows that.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Danny G. Neil, do you respect Arsenal? I do not. They are even worse than Tottenham, because their fans, like Tottenham fans, know their place. When you boil it all down, they know what they are. Arsenal fans think they're Man City based on nothing.
Are they the Gunners? Is that Arsenal?
The Gunners?
Yeah. Don't they have team names like that?
I don't pay attention to Arsenal.
Oh.
I don't respect them. I don't have anything to do with them. I don't even acknowledge that they exist. All right, next down.
Okay, next question of the NFL Nickel Package. Should have listened to Neil about Jaden Davis, huh?
Daniels,
sorry, yeah.
Hey, Jaden Davis,
and Jaden Davis.
Hey, next year you better watch out.
Hey, Spenny, thanks for giving me props like that, man.
I got you, dude.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
I tried to tell the people, I know what I see. Flannel, I knew what I see. Remember when I was giving my Heisman ballot out there every week? My Woodward Sports Heisman ballot. Do you remember how I would get filleted every week up until the end?
I don't know if you get filleted.
Up until the end.
Here's the problem, though. Everybody believed in Jaden Daniels at the draft. You weren't the only one. You were first. I will give you that. You said that he had a better college Heisman season than Joe Burrow did, which I disagree with, but you can certainly make an argument for it. Yes, Jaden Daniels has been absolutely brilliant. Looks like he might take the Commanders to the playoffs this season, Chase. But yeah, Jaden Daniels has been he's been phenomenal. He looks like the QB of the future. Maybe a future, definitely the Rookie of the Year favorite.
Who farted? If Sam Darnold's elite, why aren't the Vikings locking him up with a huge contract? I don't know. Ask Flannel.
Nobody said Sam Darnold was elite. It's about him being insulated, guys.
All right, next down.
All right, next down. Next question.
I like the pace right now.
Of the NFL Nickel Package. What will the Raiders get for Devontae Adams?
I know, like, they came out and said, we will take only a second rounder and additional draft compensation. That was smart by them to come out there and kind of set the faux market. But my answer to these NFL trade deadline deals will always be the same. It's a stock answer, a lot less than you think. When the deal goes down, you'll be like, wow, we could have given that. That's always the answer to these questions.
And you know who should give them that? The Buffalo Bills. I mean, as somebody who likes, I know he's not going to the Chiefs, obviously, and I know he's not going to the Lions, but after that, I think the team that could use Davante Adams the most is the Josh Allen-led Bills. I know that their offense looked phenomenal for the first 3 weeks, looking like they might not need a number one receiver, but maybe going into Baltimore and getting clapped makes them rethink their position in the AFC a bit. So please, Davante Adams to the Bills. I'd love to see it.
They got like $27 million tied up in Stephon Diggs this year to not play.
Well, we'll see. Restructure.
I'm just telling you what it is.
All right.
Woodward Sports chat thread real quick. Ryan's reaction. Mahomes is carried by Reed, and his defense hasn't been good in 2 years.
That's fair.
Last year, we were comparing his stats to Russell Wilson mid-year.
Well, Russell Wilson actually put up good numbers. That's also factual.
Yeah, so
You can
good.
talk about-
so good.
That is true. Mahomes
so
is a
good.
game manager now.
Yeah, so good that they gave up $85 million in cap space to get him the F out of town.
No, I'm not saying their impact is the same. I'm just saying that Russell Wilson's numbers were good last year. Whether you like it or not, they were good.
Right, so good that they gave up $85 million in cap space to get him out
I'm
of town.
not talking about the other stuff that comes along with Russell Wilson. I'm talking about the numbers.
And then he dresses when he's inactive.
Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited.
He's still going to be in the
Absolutely.
Hall of Fame someday,
He's
whether
the
you guys
biggest
like it or
douchebag
not.
I hate Russell Wilson.
Ever. All right, next up.
I would slap him across the face. All right, next question. The Vikings are playing the Jets Sunday morning in London. Do you like the Sunday morning games?
I do, because we were talking about European soccer. I enjoy that. I do this a lot in the summertime with the PGA Tour. I love like the morning with breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a little more free. You get a little more exotic for breakfast. Yeah, I'll do some eggs with avocado. Turn the football game on. I'll do that on Sunday as well. This Sunday with the Euro. I like sports at 9 a.m. I like sports during the day.
I'm going to say I like it because of a selfish reason. I've done jobs before where I've worked Lions games where we like set up out in like the Elwood and stuff like that. But you're set up before the game, especially during a 1 o'clock game. And having those 9:30 London ones to keep checking up on, it makes the time go really fast. And it makes it so that you're not dying of boredom. So yes, I like those games.
Absolutely. Plus, we'll get to watch the Vikings lose, and then everyone can give me excuses as to why it happened.
I hope they lose. I don't want the Vikings to be good. I'm just calling it as I see it.
Rich Baldwin. Mahomes has old man Travis Kelce to throw to. Maybe they should trade for Goff, and he can throw it to Jared Goff. All right, next one.
Next question. Speed. I mean, he does have more receiving touchdowns than Travis Kelce.
He certainly does.
Speaking of the Jets.
And Jalen Waddle combined.
And Jalen Waddle.
Oh, my God.
Yep. Speaking of the Jets, Breece Hall is averaging 3 yards a carry and 40 yards per game.
Really?
Did Sam Flannel lie to us about Breece Hall? We were told he was going to be an MVP this season.
Oh, Jesus
Spenny's
Christ.
keeping receipts.
Who said MVP? No,
Do you remember that conversation, Spenny?
MVP?
I don't remember him saying MVP.
Nobody said MVP.
I do remember him saying he's going to be the best back in the NFL. Though.
I didn't say that.
Is 3 yards a carry and 40 yards per game, is that the best back in the NFL?
I never said best back. I said top 5. Anywho,
Is 3 yards a carry and 40 yards per game the best back in the NFL?
No, it is not.
Is it a top 5 back?
No, it is not. But
Really?
I took exception to you basically acting like his first 2 seasons were akin to Trent Richardson. Has he been good this year?
I don't speak about what was. I tell you what's going to be. And what's going to be is that your savior, all of your first round pick. Hey, how's that working for all y'all in fantasy right now? The Breece. Oh, I got Breece Hall. The championship. Lock it up. Yeah, 3 yards a carry, 40 yards a game. Cool, bro.
Still a threat in the pass catching
game. You got
game.
Theo Riddick.
And he will get 1,000.
He's Theo Riddick, not even. He's Theo
Stop
Riddick,
it.
not
You
even.
stop that. You stop that. He's going to have 1,000 yards this season.
Except Theo Riddick was more than 3 yards a carry.
Well, Theo Riddick never had 970 yards in a season. I know you're just joking right now, but come on.
Detroit
Hall will
Dabber.
get 1,000 yards this year. Oh, Detroit Dabber!
Detroit
I wonder
Dabber.
whose side your bitch ass is going to be on.
Own your ish, Flannel. Ski Mask Boy, flip out, Flannel. Detroit supremacy. You lied to us, Flannel.
I never said MVP. And you know what? The season's not over. He's still going to have 1,000 yards. You watch. He is still going to have 1,000 yards rushing.
All right, fair enough.
Still happening.
Next down. This
right.
last one?
Oh, that was the last one, yeah.
Oh, that was the last one.
Oh, yeah.
Spenny's dying over there, right?
Tell him about. Hey, if you took Breece Hall in the first round of the fantasy draft, you may want to get some insurance. Give Swiss a call, right, Flannel?
Hey, I'll tell you what. When he rebounds and has his 1,000-yard, 500-yard rushing, 500-yard receiving season, you won't need Swiss. But if you do, for those of you that do, now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure your carrier is not slipping in extra fees. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today at 313-530-1698 or go to the website at swissins.com.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan 3C Sports League. Yes, that is right. Still time to join the very best youth football league and cheer league as well. Go to bgcsm.org. Youth ages 5 to 14 have 6 exciting teams to choose from. Detroit, Belleville, East Point as well. What does it mean? It means all coaches are trained, all coaches are certified, and all coaches undergo background checks as well. Equipment, meals, transportation, all included with the chance to play for a championship at Ford Field for just $175 per child. Put the youth back in youth sports with the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sports League. All right, we're back at it, pulling up on hour number 2. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Flannel Sam in for DMAC. We have Spencer Raxter. We have our guy Chase as well. And also, too, we got a friend of Woodward Sports in. He's running for Oakland County Executive. He's just in the community, just like we are. Our guy, Nick Jonai, joining us here. And, Nick, appreciate you taking some time. And look, it's great to catch up with you. And we're not here to talk politics or anything like that. We're just kind of here to talk some sports and a guy that's in the community and a friend of Woodward Sports. What an electric time right now, right?
Totally. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. I feel honored to be, in the heart of Woodward Sports, so I'm excited, and I can't wait to brag to my brother about it.
No, absolutely. No, but again, we're about the community here at Woodward Sports, but there is some Oakland County stuff in the news, as a matter of fact, that concerns my Oakland Golden Grizzlies, but we'll get there in a minute. As a longtime Detroit sports fan, maybe I'm always looking for different perspectives. Can you explain to me what's going on with this Tigers team right now? Because I can't. I've been around sports my whole life. I can't explain it.
I wish I really could, but I'll tell you what. We're all saying the same things. What the hell, right? And they're on fire. And guess what? I'm glad to jump on it and root these guys all the way. I mean, there's magic going on, and whatever you want to call it, we got to support our boys.
No, absolutely. Nick Jonai, our guest, he's running for Oakland County Executive, friend of Woodward Sports as well, and a big sports fan as well. You got the Lions sleeveless vest on, so I know that you're locked in.
Yep.
Your thoughts on the Lions so far? I'll go the Sam Flannel route. How terrified are you of the Minnesota Vikings? Are they the most fearsome football team you've ever seen in your life?
They are. They are.
Get it.
They are. For now. But let me tell you something. I think we're going to burst their bubble. I think, a lot of the expectations are just. I mean, we've been waiting forever for this. I mean, last year was amazing. This year, I think for myself, I was getting a little impatient because it was like with the Wolverines last year. You want them to blow out every game. These guys are on the way. They're great now. They're going to become even better, and I think they're going to kick ass. I don't know if I can say that.
No, yeah, absolutely. You can say whatever you want.
I think they're going to kick ass, and we're going to be happy as a city here.
Speaking of being happy, how bad do you want the Lions to go into Dallas and beat the Cowboys the next game?
Oh my God, so freaking bad, and for so many reasons. But one of them, my brother-in-law, he's a hardcore Cowboys fan, and I want to even just for bragging rights, just to terrorize him.
In the chat, the Ski Mask Boy. I've seen this guy before. You're a celebrity, I guess. People talking about the fact that they've seen you around town. So that is out there. We're joined by Nick Jonai. He's running for Oakland County Executive. Apparently the celebrity here of Woodward Sports. But Nick, again, we talked about it. Running for Oakland County Executive. The news broke yesterday. We know about the Final Four that's coming to Detroit, but the 2028 regional final for the NCAA tournament will take place at Little Caesars Arena. Oakland University, one of the host institutions there as well. Oakland County's got their thumbprint on what's going on in Detroit sports as well. That's a big-time event.
It's a big-time event, and it's huge to be honest, for the Tri-County, but for Oakland County more importantly, because the more we get involved, the more recognition that we get and the more participation that we have. It's just a win-win for everybody, and people get to see our businesses, our community, our diversity, and all that stuff. I mean, it's totally a win-win for us, and we're excited.
No, absolutely. Nick, the politics today, and we're not here to talk politics or anything like that. You're just talking sports, but I will bring up like community service.
Yeah.
Why is that a passion for yours? Why do you love Oakland County?
Well, growing up, it was always the place to be. It was number one for a long time. And, politics has gotten a little dirty and divisive. But, put that aside. I mean, basic things. We want greatness, just like we want for our sports teams. We want that for where we live, right? And it's always been a passion of mine because I care about where I live. I care about where my kids go to school. I care about, the businesses and everybody being safe in the community. And, you get to a point where no matter where you are, you want it to be the best of the best. We want the Lions and the Red Wings and the Tigers to be number one. So why can't, our counties and our cities be number one, and it's totally achievable. No,
absolutely. Danny G says this guy this guy screams love for Detroit sports. No, you are. You're all about it. I guess, Nick, before we let you go and get on your way, I do appreciate you stopping by and talking Detroit sports with us.
Thanks for
sure.
Having me.
Before we do let you go, got to get it. How does this work out with the Tigers and the Guardians?
I'm going to call it. They're on fire. I'm going to call it a sweep.
Nick's in his bag right now, everybody.
Let's go.
Your stock just went up.
Mark it down.
All right, there it is. Nick Jonai said it, that they're going to sweep the Guardians. No, but Nick, we do appreciate you stopping by, my friend. I know you're a fan of the network. We're a fan of yours as well. You're good people, man. That's what we're about.
Thank you guys very much. God bless.
Absolutely. Nick Jonai running for Oakland County Executive, joining us on the show. Rich Baldwin, 248, baby. 248, baby. So a lot of love for the 248.
Right on.
We appreciate it. Let's do this. Let's go to the break. We'll jump back into the nickel packages. Tell them about Mark White, Spenny.
I will tell them about Mark White because if you're buying or selling a home, Mark White should be your only choice. He can save you up to $5,000 on the closing costs of your new home. Just visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. Again, that's 248-290-8242. Mark White will help you get into a new home.
To prove that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
All right, Neil Rule here for the very best pregame spot in all of downtown Detroit. Second best bar, 42 Watson Street. Our pregame show is there on Sundays, but that's not why it's the best. It's the best because they got Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. They have some of the New Holland products. They have the most elite chicken sandwich you're going to find downtown.
It really is.
And they're 2 blocks away from LCA.
And right across the street, also owned by them, Grey Ghost, best burger in the city.
There's literally nothing else you need. This is going to be my spot. From now on, when I go downtown, this is where I'm pulling up all the time. You guys give it one try, and you'll be back there as well. But I know a lot of you have been down there already. The pregame shows have been packed. You guys have been electric. Second best bar, 42 Watson Street in Detroit. Come get some.
What about Feldman?
Feldman Automotive. They just sold me my car. I couldn't be more happy. They got the deal done in the time it took to do Big D Energy. Like, I got my keys on the air. I pulled up before the show. I said, this is the angle we want to go. Boom, I got the keys. Sam Flannel, you did the same as well. Yep. The very best car buying process in the game. It's called the Feldman Advantage. We know about Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, one of the United States' biggest EV dealers, Michigan's largest Chevy dealer. They're pretty much tops of the class, but did you know there's 18 Feldman Automotive locations? Kia, Ford, whatever you want, here's the move. Go to feldmanauto.com, find the car you want, start the car buying process online, show up, get your keys, and roll out. They're rooted in the community here. They do great work with Detroit Children's Miracle Network hospitals, as well with the golf outing. You know it. They've been around since 1996. feldmanauto.com. All right, keeping it pushing. Back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. People were a big fan. They were absolutely a big fan of our guy Nick Jonai. They wanted to know if he could bring the Palace back. I don't think in Oakland County...
That might be a little over his finger.
That's a little aggressive. He's just running for Oakland County executive.
Cool guy. Very cool guy.
Yeah, very cool guy. Mike G says, Nick, more power to you. So, yeah. Rich Baldwin, Neil, did you get a vet? All right, I'll walk into it. No, I got the Equinox EV. That's what I got, and I'm very, very happy with it. So away we go. All right, let's get back into it. Nickel package. Jack Stark, Neil hates gas stations. I do.
I do too.
He actually said he does.
Yeah, like that's fair. Again, guys, it wasn't a Captain America thing. It was this is easier for Neil thing.
And you get
Shocking.
a tax break.
And I got a tax break. Shocking, I know. So and the interest rates.
I might do it just for the tax break.
Well, the interest rates drop precipitously as well. Ooh. So got a very good deal on financing. The money in the market will outperform the money owed on the interest with the auto loan.
Bam!
Insider tip for everybody right there. All right, everybody.
All right, first question.
Let's go to Sparty. Nerd.
First question of the college football nickel package. Could Travis Hunter be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft?
I want Flannel to answer first, and then I'll give my response.
I have never directed any hate at Travis Hunter, just for the record. I think he's got the talent to. If a team doesn't need a quarterback, if they just need a dynamic skill position player or a corner or somebody who can occasionally do both, I've conceded that he is the best player in college football. However, am I right to worry about in the first 5 games he's played 652 snaps? I worry a little bit about his injury risk and getting worn down. But talent-wise, he absolutely could be.
You know what, Flannel? I used to play 4 ways in high school. All right, it'd be offense, defense, kickoff, kick return. Elite athletes just perform at a different level.
I will say this, though, and this is no shame on him. I think he is going to give up a few to Tetairoa McMillan.
Yeah, that dude's a freak.
Because, like, everybody does.
That dude's a freak.
No, yes, he can be. Because the chatter is, and I was reading the story in The Athletic, which is why it popped in my head for this segment, is you got to factor in a cornerback, and this was The Athletic writer talking, not me, a cornerback that has skills on a Charles Woodson-type trajectory at the cornerback spot. That, oh, by the way, could be a 1,000-yard receiver in the league as well. He made comparisons. He didn't say it like this, but there is like Ohtani-esque overtures to it.
Is his body going to hold up playing both ways in the NFL? I'm not trying to be like nobody's has, because nobody's done it since like the 60s.
No, I don't think he can do that. He can't do that.
Yeah, since like Chuck
but he offers you.
You can put him in for plays.
Exactly. Yeah. Like in a pinch, you can do it. Like that's. And look, guys.
You should play cornerback in the NFL.
I agree with that.
Sports today, I think has even gone away because everyone wants to talk about speciality, right? Mm-hmm. Like guys that have special roles. I think it's whipsawed the other way. I think sports now is about versatility. How many things can you do? In this day and age of salary caps, Flannel, how many roles can you fill? So even if you're high priced, you're quote unquote still a value. Like if Ohtani comes back and pitches 90% of the level that he pitched before, is he still a value at $70 million per year?
Yes.
100%.
He's the best there ever was.
Like we got to start thinking along those terms. And I do, man. Like he is the best college football player, bar none. And to be fair, and I know we're getting long with this answer here, but to be fair, is this draft giving you any elite vibes?
Not in terms of quarterbacks. I mean, there's some that you think, but Carson Beck had a little bit of a down year, for example. I don't know. Is there going to be that surefire number 1 overall pick, or is it going to be similar to like the Blake Bortles draft? We'll see.
Blake Bortles went to an AFC Championship game.
He did.
He did. Chuck
Blake
Brewer.
Bortles is the fucking man. There will be no Blake Bortles disrespect.
I think Jalen Ramsey in Saxonville had a little bit to do with that, and then prime Leonard Fournette.
Blake Bortles is a better Jacksonville quarterback than Trevor Lawrence.
That's not true.
Fact.
That's not even close to being
the
true.
refs
Stop it.
You know what? It's closer than you're giving it credit for. It's closer than you're giving it credit for.
They should have been in the Super Bowl. Miles Jack fumble, like he picked that
He
up.
should have been. But Tom Brady's not lucky, but I digress.
No,
Blake Bortles is the man.
like you're being overly dismissive about it.
No,
you act like Trevor Lawrence has come in here and set the league on fire.
No, but
you know who he is right now at this point in his career?
Daniel Jones.
No, he's Sam Darnold.
Well,
at his point in his career, he has the exact numbers of Sam Darnold.
All right, fine. I think you guys are a little dismissive of Trevor Lawrence, but to be fair,
I think you're dismissive of our GOAT, Blake Bortles.
Oh, okay. I'm dismissive of a GOAT, and you're not
You
high
are.
on him at all by calling him a GOAT. But anywho,
Blake Bortles is the man.
Chuck Brewer says, Neil, top teams will fall in love with the quarterback. What quarterback, though?
Quinn
Shador?
Ewers?
Shador?
Maybe Shador.
Carson Beck.
Carson
That's
Beck.
weird.
But Shador,
Dylan Gabriel.
Flannel tells me that they're a bum team and a bum organization, yet they're going to have 2 of the top 5 picks.
And a terrible
Weird.
father.
I mean, Shador kind of is a prick, though. I'm just saying.
Can he play quarterback?
Yes, he can, but I don't
Then
think
it
he can
stops.
lead an NFL
No,
locker room.
Then it stops.
He's got doesn't he have the L on his chest for the leader? And then Travis Hunter's got the D for the Dogs.
There you go.
Good win over Central Florida. Props, for real. For real. That was nice.
All right, second down. We went long on that one.
No Blake Bortles disrespect.
Okay.
Ever.
Ever. Max Mayer.
Not
Blake
allowed.
Bortles threw for 35 touchdowns his second
You're
year.
goddamn right he did.
Fine.
Blake Bortles is the man. Have you seen his interviews with his hot-ass wife? Oh, dude. So awesome. What do you do first thing when you wake up? Take a piss.
That's nice.
Blake, what would you be doing if you weren't playing football? Probably construction and ripping cigs. Guy's the fucking man.
He'd be dressing like flannel.
Well, he does dress like flannel. Blake Bortles is the man. All right, next question. Is Alabama now the favorite to win the Natty?
Not to me, they're not. I would still say it's Georgia. But this is the time and space we're in where we just blindly overreact. Georgia's schedule, contrary to what you've been told about SEC schedule, is murderous. Murderous, their schedule is. They still got to go to Texas.
I was just going to ask that.
They still got to go to Ole Miss, which, Ole Miss is Ole Miss or whatever, but you're still going there. Well, yeah, but you're still going there.
Yeah.
But it's not about that, Flint. It's not about that game.
understand.
Think about that environment that night in that space, because every game's in a vacuum.
No, I actually agree with you. I think it's still Georgia.
And they play Clemson.
But I'll tell you what.
More on them later.
One factor about Alabama that I did not take into account that I got to be on the stand for, Ryan Williams, bro.
Is insane.
Jeez.
He's the best wide receiver in
Dude.
NCAA, and he's 17.
That game-winning touchdown against Georgia that he had was one of the greatest plays I've ever seen by a wide receiver at any level. He pirouette spun twice and outrun 2 Georgia defensive backs as a 17-year-old.
He is
The dude's a freak.
17 years
He's
old.
17.
It's crazy. He's arguably the best player in the country, and he's 17
Yes.
years old.
And by the
Well,
way,
Travis Hunter's the most.
I said arguably.
Yeah.
But
No, you can't argue. Anyway,
Fair
though,
enough,
moving
fair
on.
enough. But
But
Ryan,
hey, but they'll tell me, well, he's a better receiver than Travis Hunter. Yeah, well, when's he checking their other team's best
That's
receiver?
true. That's true. I love Travis Hunter.
That's fine.
I do too.
Ryan
All right.
Williams is a freak, though.
Yeah. So he's an X factor, and it looks like Jalen Milroe has taken another step too. So I maybe was a little too dismissive of Bama at the beginning of the year. I do think they'll make the playoff, but you got to also give credit to Georgia for coming back and actually taking the lead when they could have just laid down and died. I still think they're the best team in college football, and if that game were played in Georgia, that Georgia would have won.
Real cream of wheat. Milroe sucks. Way overrated. Well, it's a lot different when he has a center that can snap him the ball, right? Seems to be working out better for him.
That was pretty crazy.
He's like reaching down here.
There's like 4 bad snaps in that game.
I'll tell you what, though, when you got Chris Jenkins and Mason Graham, who you got to block, Kenneth Grant.
I'll tell you what, Sam Flannel gave up in the fourth quarter. We have video evidence of it.
Everything being said is true right now.
Alabama was minus 500 in the fourth quarter of that game, and Flannel gave up.
I knew the heat that was going to come at yours truly if they did lose because I'm a fan.
But you gave up.
You even said it, bro.
You even said it.
I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that atmosphere. I was in the chat like, dude, you guys, this is a 1-score game. You got 5 minutes left.
Do you realize the heat that Michigan fans and Michigan would have taken in the offseason if they didn't win the Natty? It would have been unbearable. I would have had to go into a hole probably.
Would you have gone to that game, Sam? Did you think they had a chance to win? Because Michigan fans only like to go to games they think they can win.
That's not true. That's not true.
That's why he sat that one out. You could have had the father-in-law pull some strings.
Oh, just because my father-in-law has season tickets doesn't mean we could just go to Pasadena willy-nilly. Come on, that's not how it works.
Willy-nilly?
That's not how it works.
Willy-nilly.
I need that on a shirt stick.
All right, next
down.
Next up.
What are we on, third down?
Willy-nilly, the third question of the college football nickel package. The SEC have 12 of the top 13 teams in the rankings. I didn't know Missouri was a top 10 team.
They're not.
Crazy. Do you guys understand what's going on here?
The SEC and the Big Ten.
The SEC and the Big Ten.
Oh, and the Big Ten.
Have 12 of the top 13
Yes, the
teams in
SEC
the
and the Big
rankings.
Ten.
See, guys, it's happening, and nobody's talking about it.
Oh, like the 2 super conferences?
We talk about like the Super League. We're in the Super League. Like, this is what it is. They dictate the TV ratings. More on that in a minute because I'm going to land the plane, or Spencer's going to land the plane on this college football nickel package. We all understand what's going on here, right? Do you?
What, the
Do you?
super conferences?
Do you
and
think
everything?
Missouri's a top 10 team?
They're not.
Do you think Michigan's a top 10 team?
Yes.
No.
How does that little
then you think Army's a top 10 team also?
That little brown jug feels really nice. That win over USC feels really nice. That 4-1 start sounds really nice.
Flannel, thank you.
What?
You gave me exactly what I wanted.
What'd you want?
Spenmo. You see how it works?
Yeah.
You're seeing it. That's evidence of it. Yeah. You see it?
Don't you just love how every time Michigan gets a big win, it's just dismissed in retrospect?
You see it?
Minnesota was a big win.
No, USC was, though.
What about
USC
Missouri? They're the
big.
SEC Michigan. You think that they're a top 10 team in the nation?
The SEC Michigan that hasn't won a damn thing in their school's history.
This year. They are literally. You think that Missouri's a top 10 team in the nation?
No, I think they'll lose like 3 games or something. I don't think
Well,
they'll
that's
make the
probably
playoff.
what Michigan's going to do.
Yeah. That's fine. We're not talking about the end of the season. We're talking about right now.
Anyway,
Missouri's undefeated.
The moral of the story is this.
Yes.
You see what's going on, right?
Do you see?
I mean, I suppose.
Do you see?
I suppose.
This is why it works. All right, next down.
All right, next down. Next question of the college football nickel package. I don't know if I'm too high to understand what just happened right there. That was weird, though. All right, The Athletic came out with their playoff projections. At the headline was "Hello Clemson." People are going to fall for Clemson twice in one season.
They are. Like twice in 8 weeks they're going to fall for them.
It's because Florida State completely fell off the map. So, like, they're just going to go to what they know, and that's Clemson.
True.
I need Miami more than ever. Like, I'm a big Miami guy. When I was a kid, I loved Miami. And because of just the historic run they went on, that's unparalleled in the face mask era of college football. They're doing it again, Flannel.
What do you mean they're doing it again?
They're doing it again with the Clemson stuff.
Clemson's making the college football playoff, whether you like it or not.
They suck, though.
Look at their schedule. You know who they don't play? Miami. You know it's all of a sudden
they won the ACC championship.
Okay,
though,
fine,
right?
but you know it looks like an easier game now at Florida State. They're losing one regular season game.
Well, DJU's not playing. So it's going to be a much harder game against Florida State.
I will say this, though. The complete dismissal of the third best program of the past 10 years is insane to me.
They fell apart, man. They're not using NIL.
That's fine. You know what else they have? 12 consecutive seasons of 10 wins and 2 natties. Actually, it was 2011 to 2022, but still.
Does Clemson win a playoff game this year?
No.
Then they don't matter.
They still going to make it. You're acting like Dabo Swinney is going to be a 6-6 coach or something. I
Dabo's-
want Dabo to win.
Dabo should be fired.
Dabo's the best coach. He is Clemson, dude. He is Clemson.
Yeah, and he is dragging Clemson into the ocean because he won't get NIL deals because God's got his back.
You know what?
Use the transfer portal, you idiot.
I want to see him win that way. He understands the fabric of college football. And I'm not saying that I'm anti-transfer portal, anti-NIL.
No,
that's what you just said.
I want to see him win it his way. I want to see a variety. And Dabo Swinney is one of the greatest college football coaches who ever lived, whether you like it or not.
He is, but it's adapt or fucking die, Flannel. That's what it is.
Go to the college football playoff isn't dying.
Yes, it is. When you're the top 3 college program in the past 10 years, yes, it is. Just getting there isn't good enough if
You
you're
understand
Clemson.
12 get in now, right? They have to fill it with somebody. Like they're going to get 12 teams.
I understand that, but it doesn't mean you're dead. If they don't make it, I'll be more on your guys' side. Seriously. But if they do,
if they make it and lose, nothing, it doesn't matter. Like you said, they are one of the best top 3 schools in the past 10 years. For sure. If just making the playoffs isn't good enough for a top 3 school the past 10 years, and why they're not good enough to compete with these lesser schools is because Dabo's a stubborn idiot, and he should be fired.
Dude, you know what? Flannel, thank you, though, for proving my point yet again. If he gets to the playoff, everything's fine. So, beating App State, NC State, Stanford, Florida State, Wake Forest, Virginia Tech, Pittsburgh, the Citadel in South Carolina, that's fine.
You play who's in
you're
front
a
of you.
good program.
You play who's in front of you.
And you control who's in front of you.
If you make the college football playoff, I'm not calling you dead. I don't care if it's 12 people.
So when Boise gets in, they're legit.
Yes, they have the best running back in the country.
So Missouri's real.
They're not going to, I don't think
So
they'll
if
make
it's not Boise, say it's UNLV, which could be the case. So UNLV's legit then. What if it's Army?
It's not going to be Army.
Why?
It's not going to be Army. Because they suck.
Army has the same amount of transfer portals as...
They literally are the same as Michigan.
Hey, bro.
And they put up 37 points.
Yeah, because Army recruits like Clemson, Chase. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Come on.
It's true, though.
Come on.
It is true.
It is true.
Stop it. Stop trolling.
I think Army recruits even wider than Clemson because Army's trying to recruit like all of the nation to get
Christ.
in the military.
That's
They're
true.
reaching a larger
Yeah.
audience than just football players.
They're dominating the world, and they're 4-0 in football.
And they're 4-0.
That's fine.
And they're exclusively a run-only team as well.
And they scored 42 points twice this year.
For the record,
and
though,
37 once.
none of you people thought that they were making the college football playoff. So the nice switcheroo of, if they make it, it's still a disastrous season. Stop it. Stop.
Thank you for proving my point, though. All
What
right,
did
do we have another one?
I cooked you guys like steak, bro.
Dabo should be fired.
That's the worst take you've ever had, bro.
How?
And get who? Dabo Swinney
Somebody
is
who will say,
Clemson.
okay, we'll pay for players.
He is Clemson. They're not firing Dabo.
They should.
That's ridiculous. Come on.
Real cream of wheat. Shout out Citadel.
Adapt or die, Flannel.
Shout out Citadel. All right, next down.
Next down. Next question of the college football nickel package. The Athletic came out with their... just read that one.
Yeah.
Georgia and Alabama had over 14 million viewers for their game Saturday night. It was the most watched primetime game since 2017. But you guys told Neil college football was ruined. Did you guys lie to Neil?
Thanks again, Spenmo.
No problem, man.
That's a great question because I was told college football's over. Was I lied to, Flannel?
Well, you didn't hear that from me. We can actually kumbaya on this one. College football is the best sport there is in the world. And
No. People in this
Well, that's
chat,
fair. Yeah.
you people
Yeah.
told me college football's dead. You said it.
It's true. They also said Kirby is going to be benched.
Oh, weird. Highest rating since 2017 in a primetime game.
I'll tell you what, though, on paper, was one of the best matchups going into a game that I've ever seen, and it lived up.
And
It looked like
up.
it was going to be a blowout, but credit to Georgia, they crawled their way back in, and credit to the Milroe to Ryan Williams connection. That's one of the best plays I've ever seen in college football.
It was insane.
Yeah.
Right after they scored a touchdown, too.
Yeah.
Just the ultimate answer.
Tom Robinson wants to know, is Sam drunk today? Not yet.
Not yet.
No, I just...
Maybe one more heavy one.
We'll
Dabo
see.
sucks.
Dabo is Clemson. Hall of
Jay
Fame.
Cruzen, I like college ball betting. Go to Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. What's next? Is that it?
Deion Sanders is a better head coach than Dabo Swinney.
That's not true. You don't
Yes,
even
he
believe
is.
that. You don't believe that. Stop it.
Which
Stop
team
it.
would you watch?
Clemson.
Which team would you
Who
watch?
gives a shit about watchability?
What's the question again?
Which team would you watch, Clemson or Colorado?
Colorado.
Which team would you watch, Spenny?
Colorado for
So
sure.
would I.
Gives a fuck.
Because they have the
Clemson-
best player in the nation and 2 top 10 picks.
And Clemson has 2 national championships in the last 10 years, and out of
Oh,
12
do they?
seasons,
How many guys on this team have one?
none. How many in Colorado have one?
Same as many people on Clemson.
Hey, man. Eric Bieniemy won a Heisman.
No, Eric Bieniemy was a stud back in the day. Running back, Colorado. Bill McCartney, best coach in Colorado history, even though you think it's a bum program forever. Just saying.
Was that it?
Dabo sucks. Yeah, that was it.
Dabo
No,
is
all
a
right.
Hall
Way
of
late
Famer.
for the break.
You
All
know
right.
what? I'm gonna be at your door when the Hall of Fame induction to Dabo Sweeney, just like ding 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 ding. Ha! That's what it's gonna be. Just me going ha.
If you need to divorce Dabo Sweeney, where should you go, Neil?
Clemson should look into KDK Law. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law have 10 years in the game. And check this out, guys. For real, though, if you're dealing with divorce, family law, child visitation, child custody, all of that, you're probably losing sleep. They have 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code on the screen right now because you need excellence on your side, and that is KDK Law right here in Birmingham. If you mention Woodward Sports, they'll pay your filing fee. But guys, I'm just being real with you, right? This isn't about getting someone to pay your filing fee. This is about getting a team on your side that can get the job done. This is the toughest time of your life. Get the proper team on your side. KDK Law right here in Birmingham. They'll have your back.
And if those sleepless nights are keeping you up, you can stay up with Sabbath Coffee, because Sabbath Coffee Roasters subscribe and they will deliver specialty, delicious locally roasted coffee to your door. You can get 25% off your first subscription order if you use code word Woodward. Sabbath Coffee Roasters is providing the best coffee as convenient as possible, so make sure you check them out at sabbathcoffeeroasters.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. On Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
All right. We got to get back on the clock. A little Michigan State nickel package into the Michigan one.
Sounds good to me.
All right, let's do it.
All right, first
Touchdown,
question.
MSU.
First question of the Michigan State nickel package. How long until you get concerned with Aiden Childs' performances? Because, like Sean points out, he's missing guys a lot, too. You can see the...
When you miss a bowl.
Yeah, that's fair.
For real. If you miss a bowl, then you have to ask the question. And I go back to it. When you're getting all the money, this is, look, I joke about, you guys told me college football was ruined and was I lied to and all that kind of stuff. That knife does cut both ways. You're the leader of the program. You cannot play like this and win. You can't. And look, tonight's a huge test, man. More on that in a minute. But at the same time, Flannel, he has to play better. I know he's young. I know that. I understand that. But this is college football in today's day and age. You don't get time anymore. Time is not a luxury. If you can't hack it, then go to Sam Houston State.
Yeah, no, I was going to say pretty much what you were saying. If they don't make a bowl, which I'm not saying it's probable, But given what Indiana and Illinois are doing, it's certainly teetering a bit at this point. But I want to hear from Spenny because you're a fan of the team and an alum.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you see the potential there. You see the ability, the athletic ability, obviously, and the arm talent. But he needs to dial it in for sure because you are trying. Like, that Boston College loss was on him for sure. So now he needs to go out there and put a win on him to balance that out. Because that Boston College loss could be what keeps you out of a bowl game. So now he needs to go and take a win. I think he will against Iowa. I mean, I already had that penciled in as a win this year, but he has this behind the 8 ball now. Because you penciled in Ohio State, Oregon as losses. Should have won in Boston College. Should have won that game. He gave it away. So now he needs to go take a win.
How about this as a follow-up to you, Spenny? I believe the rest of the team has over-delivered. When I watch them and see the game flow when they play, the rest of the team has over-delivered versus what I thought they would be. And he has woefully under-delivered.
For sure.
Is that fair?
Charles Brantley, statistically one of the best corners in the country.
Okay.
He's playing lights out. The defense is much better than I thought it was going to be.
100%.
But, yeah, he has not performed to what we expected.
How can you do this? How can you do this, Spenny?
Speak rationally about my
look
team?
me in the eye and say, yeah, it hasn't been good enough. Quarterback hasn't been good enough.
I don't know.
Weird. All right, second down.
He does need to fix it very soon, though, because, like I said, nobody thought we were going to beat Ohio State. Nobody thought we were going to beat Oregon. These are 2 losses that were penciled in. Should have beat Boston College. That was even questioned. They were like, maybe not. It's the red bandana game or whatever it was. Aiden Childs lost that game. He gave that game away. You can't do that.
That's
now
tough.
You got to go take one.
Absolutely tough. Second down.
All right, second down. Oregon in Eugene. Is there any hope?
Nope. Next.
All right.
I was going to say no as well. Oregon, if they lose this game, it's a disaster. We're talking about, and I'm not saying the hot seat, but the seat under Dan Lanning is warming up a little bit. They're not going to lose that game. They're just too talented. At the very worst, they're going to out-athlete MSU.
Yeah, I mean, and Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
He's going to complete 40 passes. And if you don't have, if this is where, and look, like while the scoreboard might not show it tonight, Oregon's offense is intriguing to me when you sit down and watch them. When you sit down and watch them in the ease of ball movement, it hasn't always ended in like 50-point games or anything like that. But they set a pace to a game. You guys always hear me talk about game flow and how every single game in the world is in a vacuum. And the game flow, either through play, through the way it's officiated, through breaks, through turnovers, the game flow is very independent. And 2 teams can play each other in back-to-back weeks and play 2 entirely different games. But when Oregon's on that field, in that stadium, you can't make a mistake. You can't. And Aiden Childs will. He just will. There's no reason to think he won't.
Oh, yeah.
So, no shot. Sorry, Spenny.
It's all right. Yeah, I penciled both of these games in as losses before the season started. Next question. Should the offense go for the jugular early in this game?
I got to see him not turn it over before I worry about, quote, going for the jugular.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. Like, hold on to the football, number one. Because if you turn it, like I said, Oregon hasn't put up the 50-point games I expect. You turn it over 3 times, they'll do it to you tonight. No doubt.
See, I think that they have no choice. Why not just try to make a play early in the game? Throw a deep ball from Aiden Childs to Nick Marsh and hope that he comes down with it. And even if it's picked off, it's like an arm punt. I don't think MSU, in terms of MSU versus Oregon, when there's no turnovers, when there's no big plays, can beat Oregon. But if you get off to a good start, you at least put fear in Oregon for at least a minute. So, yes, I think they should go for the jugular right away.
Yeah, I agree.
Ski Mask Boy, Tigers Talk. Opening segment, 11:14 of the show. We did Tigers Nickel Package. Tap into it. You can get on the podcast, too. iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever you get your podcast. Next down.
All right, next down. Next question of the MSU Nickel Package. Have your expectations changed for this team?
It's been a wild ride so far with Michigan
State. It has.
State. I expected nothing. And then I expected a bowl game. But part of those bowl game expectations were winning that Boston College game. As I watched it, I expected them to win that game. Until they didn't. And that Boston College game was a swing game as far as a bowl thing goes for me. So, yeah, my expectations have changed twice with this team.
I still think it's got to be bowl game success, anything less failure.
Yep.
And I don't care if it's 6-6. Just
Yeah,
get into a bowl.
It's pass fail.
Just get into a bowl.
When you're, and this has been my prevailing point, when you're at the dregs, which is where they have been, then it's about getting to a bowl game. Because really, when you think about it, is there a difference between 6-6 and 8-4?
Technically, no.
There is no difference.
Feels better.
Yeah.
Does it?
But it feels better
It
in the
does.
moment. But when you go back through time, can you pick out the 6-6 seasons and the 8-4 seasons?
No.
That's it, man. Like, it
But
doesn't
yeah,
matter.
yeah. The expectations haven't changed. You got to win a bowl game, or at least get to a bowl game.
Get to a bowl game.
or it's a failure of the season.
Cody Ingle says there was never a bowl game expectation if you were being realistic.
Yeah.
I disagree with that.
The ski mask boy, my bad. I gave you a softball, Neil. My bad. No, I did. And I live for those ski mask boys, so thank you. All right, next down.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Final question. Should you see more touches from Nate Carter or K'Ron Lynch Adams going forward?
I don't hot hand it. The moral of my story is, are either of them that good to where you should pound the table to say this guy should get more?
No, I don't think it should be by a huge margin or anything. I think they can be complementary, but I think it has to be K'Ron Lynch Adams. More explosive and good things have happened when he's touched the ball than when Nate Carter has touched the ball. I know that that's high-level analysis right there, but sometimes it's just as simple as that. Divvy up their carries like, 17-10 or something like that. Spenny, as somebody who is a fan and alum, what do you think?
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think it should be K'Ron Lynch Adams by a small margin just because he is the more explosive back. And when he sees an open seam, yeah, that man is tough to catch when he gets behind you. So I would say give him a little bit more carries.
And that is the Michigan State Spartans nickel package. Tell them about the watch party.
I will tell them about the watch party because the watch party and the post-game show are both live from Hayes Social. Make sure you tap in. New Holland Brewing Company, Sabbath Coffee Roasters, Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza, and 1800 Tequila, all sponsors of these shows. Live every Lions game day. You got the watch party, then the post-game show, again at Hayes Social. Come chill with the boys.
Let the boys
To prove
walk.
that you can get just as strong at Planet Fitness, we're seeing if people can tell the difference between our 75-pound dumbbell and a 75-pound dumbbell from an overpriced competitor gym. Okay, the old flick test, that never fails.
There's literally no difference.
Plus, you can save $28 or more when you join today. Wow.
Why would I pay more to lift the same weights?
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Save $28 or more. Join for $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness. Light price, strong choice.
The countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Oh, Red Wings. From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. They got their signature wings. Make sure you check them out. They got 7 different flavors, a limited time offer, so get them while they're still there. Perfect for game days. When you get a pizza, get some wings too. To find a Soroki's near you, go to Sorokis.com.
All right, keeping it pushing. We did the Michigan State. Time to get into the Michigan. They're an underdog. That's laughable to me.
That's wild.
Against that trash Washington team. But
Playoff team as an underdog.
yeah, I know. It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe the books don't understand how the real world works. Well, there is like a Michigan. Well, I mean, I guess you would say, too, they would be even a bigger underdog because typically there's a Michigan tax in the sports books, because people just kind of blind fire their money on Michigan. So it's wild to me.
It's the first time in recorded history of a national champion has ever been an underdog in a game in the following season. Right, Chase? The very first time. It's literally never happened before.
Against a bum-ass team?
Against the team that lost to everybody.
Anywho, let's
All right. Fair enough. All right, Michigan nickel package.
First question of the Michigan nickel package. Should you walk away from Michigan's win over Minnesota encouraged or discouraged?
All right. Typically, I'll get Flannel's response to this, but I have like a spin on this that I want Flannel to address. Do you get tired of having to answer this question every single week? For real. Do you get tired of it?
Sure.
Like, they are a service academy. They play service academy football. It's what they do.
I mean, it wasn't even really about the service academy. It's the fact that they almost let Minnesota come back in the game. And I want to be very clear. This was not an impressive win. I didn't walk away from it feeling super happy at the time, and there is a lot to clean up. However, Because they got the win and they survived in advance, I'm going to go with encouraged for a couple of different reasons. One, Josiah Stewart and Will Johnson were out. That's your leading sacker and your leading interceptor. That's Will Johnson, I believe, is the best defensive player in the country. And I believe that the second half would have gone a little bit different if they were both in the game because Wink Martindale was doing too much blitzing and leaving cornerbacks on an island. Will Johnson can handle that, and you'd get more pressure with your front four with Josiah Stewart. You also saw Khalil Mullings get 24 carries to Donovan Edwards' 9. I liked that as well. And I know
whoa. Let me interject.
Okay, what?
It's over for the Don, isn't it?
Sure. Yeah.
Don.
As a RB1, absolutely. More on Khalil Mullings later, though.
Is that the quickest fall off in the history of college football?
I mean,
from the cover of the video game.
I thought he was going to be really good. I don't know what happened.
But I'm talking about like in the fans' eyes. I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
He's gone from the cover of the video game to, well, he got 9 carries. That's good enough for me.
I mean, it's a what have you done for me lately business.
Can we agree, though, that it was a fraudulent cover?
No, because he's on it. Jack Stark. Here, Jack Stark has a follow-up.
Yeah.
Is the Don cooked? Ha-ha.
He's got a role on this team.
He's looking more cooked than
But it can't be RB1. And I was going to say, too, that Mason Graham played one of the best first halves I've ever seen a defensive tackle play. And I like that. But, yeah, they did let Minnesota back in the game. They got very, very lucky with a questionable call and an onside kick. I understand all of that. But because of the reasons I just mentioned, I'm still encouraged until they end up losing one of these games they shouldn't lose. They're still on serve at this point.
Yeah, and they won't be. What do you got, Chase?
Well, isn't Donovan Edwards just a big play, like a big game player? And is Michigan going to have any more big games in the rest of his time at this school?
Well, when Oregon comes in, you'll see the Don. Ha ha.
Well, it will show that he actually is a big game player. He just has struggled a lot in those not so big games. He even had a long touchdown against USC, believe it or not. He also had what could have been a back-breaking fumble, but Khalil Mullings saved his ass. More on him later.
Brandon Katz, Goff isn't elite or top 10. You're right, he's neither of those things, but he is perfect. All right, next down.
Next question of the Michigan Nickel Package. How much will Josiah Stewart and Will Johnson's injury absences after Michigan's performance or affect Michigan's performance on Saturday?
So he's definitely out again.
No, I was going to say, and I kind of already answered it, how much did it affect Michigan's performance in the Minnesota game?
Yeah, I guess Minnesota's quarterback kind of got loose for Minnesota and Minnesota's quarterback. So, yeah, I could say it played a part in it. But again, if you're that dependent on one dude, then are you a good football team?
Well, I was going to say that it wouldn't have been an excuse to lose. I want to put that out there. If Michigan lost that game, it would have been a disaster. Injuries be damned. But it is a reason that maybe it was a little bit too close for comfort at the end. I already mentioned Wink Martindale. The first half was immaculate. The second half, Wink Martindale started blitzing a little bit more and leaving his corners man on man. And like I said, Will Johnson is equipped to handle that. Jair Hill is looking like he's improving, but I still don't trust him in one-on-one. Zeke Berry got cooked a lot by Daniel Jackson, the slot corner. But yeah, I just think if Josiah Stewart's there, it's easier to get pressure with your front four. You saw it with Mason Graham in the first half. You saw it with Kenneth Grant. You even saw it with the backup TJ Guy. But Josiah Stewart, he was playing like a man on a mission, and his absence does hurt. If any team plays without their best pass rusher and their best corner, it's going to hurt them a little bit, and they still won. That's why I'm confident moving forward that they should at the very least win the games they should.
All right.
That's fair. Next question of the Michigan Nickel Package. Is Khalil Mullings the Big Ten MVP at this point in the season?
No, because they're an also-ran in terms of the Big Ten power, right? Like it's Ohio State, it's Penn State. And I noticed this too, like when I was doing the research for the college football nickel package, I think Mandel didn't even have Michigan in the playoff. He had Penn State in the playoff with Ohio State. And like if that keeps up, if they keep on this trajectory, then no. Like he's just a good guy on a kind of a mid team. Power 5, top 10 team, because Flannel says they're a top 10 team in the nation.
I mean, factually,
well, then again, I guess if he's the best player on a top 10 team in the nation, he should be the MVP, right?
Well, of the Big Ten, and I want to be very clear. I'm not dismissing like a Caleb Johnson or a Curtis Rourke or like a Dylan Raiola.
I was going to say your boy.
All right, or even the likes of like Dylan Gabriel or like Drew Aller or Junkins or whatever. I get it. But you can certainly make a case for Khalil Mullings, and this is why. Where the F would Michigan be without him? They lose against...
That is a scary thought.
They lose to USC without Khalil Mullings. That play was blocked well, but it was blocked well for like a 10-yard gain, not a 63-yard one on a drive in which they went 4 minutes with just runs. That was just him putting on his Superman cape. And you saw him, the first touchdown of the game was a 50-yarder. The first 2 touchdowns of the game against Minnesota were Khalil Mullings touchdowns. The drive after Minnesota cut it to 7, where Michigan salted some clock and went ahead by 10, that was just running the ball with Khalil Mullings. He got 2 first downs on the ground. He had that one run where he went 19 yards, but it was called back for holding at the spot of the foul, so it went to 2nd and 1. That's still valuable. Without Khalil Mullings, this might be a 2-3 football team, if that.
Shawn Michael says if Mullings continues playing this way and they go 10-2, you could argue he should be in New York for the Heisman.
If he continues to play like this, yes, and they're 10-2. He's put this team on his back with no
over
passing
Travis
game.
Hunter?
No, that's why New York, man, New York. And it depends a lot on what other people do, but Khalil Mullings has put his Superman cape on. If it wasn't for, do you see how bad the pass game is? More on that in just a second, but do you see how bad it is?
They definitely wouldn't have beat USC if it wasn't
no
for him.
chance.
Real
no
quick,
chance.
you know, last week against Minnesota on Caesars Sportsbooks, you could only bet on Minnesota's quarterback for passing props. Alex Orji or any quarterback from Michigan wasn't even eligible to be bet on. No odds, no wagers.
That's fair because he can't throw.
That's a great lead into the next question.
Yeah. That is a great lead into the next question. Will Alex Orji have his first 100-yard game of the season Saturday at Washington?
Passing, by the way.
Yeah, passing. Yeah.
Yes, because he has to.
You're gonna parlay that with Mahomes, no interceptions?
I'm not gonna parlay that, certainly, but here's the thing, and I know people are gonna laugh and chuckle, but the pass game showed a little bit of improvement with Colston Loveland being back. And he did have Donovan Edwards wide open on a wheel route. He just decided to throw to Colston Loveland over the middle instead. 100 is not a big bar. You saw him about more than double his passing yards from the previous week to this week. So yeah, I could see him getting like 120 and finally hitting on a big play. But yeah, the main bread and butter of it is that Colston Loveland being your safety blanket, that's a nice thing to have. It's funny how Michigan has such a morbid passing attack, but still the best player in college football at their respective position as a pass catcher. It's kind of an oxymoron, but it's going to help Alex Orji at least get that 100-yard barrier.
The best player in the country as a pass catcher.
At his respective position as a pass catcher. The best, what I meant...
The best tight end?
Best tight end, yes.
Okay.
Best tight end.
Real quick on the Mullings in New York thing.
Yes.
So he should be in front of Jalen Milroe?
No.
So he should be in front of Travis Hunter?
No.
Should he be in front of Cam Ward?
No.
Should he be in front of, I'm speaking of running back, should he be in front of Ashton Jeanty?
No, absolutely not.
We're running out of spots. What about Dylan Gabriel?
We'll see. We'll see. I'm not saying
we're running out of spots in New York,
I understand
Flannel.
that, but he has put the team on his back, dude. And if they continue to win and he keeps playing like this, if he has like 1,500 yards rushing and the passing game doesn't pick it up and they're a 9-3, 10-2 team, he should at least get consideration.
Mason Leach, well, Flannel, you said he would have over 100 last week, and look what happened.
He had like 86.
Close enough, right?
Oh, man, he erupted. All right, fifth down.
All right, fifth down. Fifth question of the Michigan nickel package. Does Michigan beat Washington on Saturday?
Yes, but that's not a celebration of Michigan. That's just like people don't understand.
How are they the underdog? How does it
There's a part of me that feels like you're walking into it, but that's fine. I'll walk into it. Second get right this weekend. Michigan plus the 2 and a hook on Caesars. There's no way. There's no way they can lose to Washington.
Because Michigan's a good team. I'm not even trolling at this point.
I never do 2 get rights in a week.
That's true.
The people push me to the Jets. You'll see. You'll all see. But Washington, I stay on Washington. I stay betting against Washington. It's not a bet on Michigan. Washington is awful. Awful. This is like the lose to Montana State Washington team. What do you got, Chase?
Well, Michigan's been giving up a lot of backdoor covers, though, Neil. Do you trust them late in the game to keep the spread, to cover the spread?
Yeah, 100%. They'll find a way to win.
I mean, that's a fact, Sam. That's what's been happening.
No, I understand, but every single comment you've made is a snarky one at Michigan. That's okay. I like having you here, man.
That's all right. Hey, they'll blame me for it, Chase.
We're gonna be big. We're gonna be big contemporaries on Wake Up Woodward. I promise. But yes, they're gonna beat Washington. They have to. They have to at the very least. You got to just out athlete Washington.
Hold on, Patrick. Okay, Neil, I'm honestly nervous, but we ride. Patrick, you've been in it. You've taken advantage of a lot of these. I don't pick these. They pick me. I believe this is one of a few weekends where I've had 2 get-rights.
No, honestly, if you lose to Washington, it's a season destroyer. It's a disaster. It can't happen.
Will you ever risk a get right again on Michigan if they go 0 for 2 on the season for you?
I'll have to take a look at that for sure. For sure. But hey, I was told they're going to have somebody in New York. You can't have a Heisman finalist and not beat Washington.
I understand that. The
Right?
only thing that I'm worried about, and I think this is a legitimate worry, Will Rogers is a real quarterback. Alex Orji is not. Do I trust Michigan's defense to handle him in the Jedfish system okay? Yes, I do, but at least Washington has a real quarterback who has had success in college football before, and Alex Orji certainly is not.
It's crazy that Washington has a real quarterback.
They do.
Michigan doesn't.
Sean wants to know, what was Neil's other get-right? The Jets. Plus the 3 Sunday morning in London against the greatest football team the NFL has ever seen, this year's Minnesota Vikings.
What about this? Nobody said that.
Yeah, because
100%. That's what you guys have been
think they're
on.
going 4-13. That's the problem.
Yeah, apparently they're the worst team ever too, even though they're 4-0 and they have the best defense in football.
I know. I'm intimidated.
Sean Michael says, if Michigan loses, Will Johnson and Mason Graham should consider business decisions. I don't disagree with him.
100%?
Those are two top 5 picks.
I don't know what their contracts look like for their NIL stuff.
It's not more than a top 5 pick salary, I'll tell you that.
But if the checks have already been cashed,
how would you? What would your reaction to that be, Flynn?
Would Will Johnson be able to redshirt?
No.
He's only played 4 games, right?
Why the fuck would he redshirt? I mean,
they lose to Washington,
I mean, if they
he's going to be a top 5.
Well, yeah, he's going to go pro.
right? But leave the option open.
Well, they're not losing. They're not losing to Washington.
Look at how uncomfortable he is right now.
Oh, yeah.
Why wouldn't I be uncomfortable? The prospect of losing our best player?
2.
Wow! What a limb! If Michigan loses Will Johnson, they're fucked! Duh! No shit, Sherlock! If they lose Mason Graham too, they're doubly fucked! Duh! No shit! Jesus Christ! And they're not gonna lose. Because you should listen to what I just said right there and give you motivation.
Because Khalil Mullins is going to be in New York. He's going to carry him all the way.
He is. And Jesus Christ works his core at Planet Fitness, everybody. That was been confirmed earlier in the show, and you should too, as a matter of fact. No, but for real, though. Planet Fitness, the best gym in the gym game. There's over 50 of them in Metro Detroit. There's over 2,600 of them around the world as well. Clean facilities. You can go take a shower, get dressed, get into work. It becomes a part of your day. Black card option, just $24.99 a month. You get to go to all the Planet Fitnesses across the world, everywhere. And look, the bottom line with that is unlimited use of all the amenities. You get the hydro massage, the tanning beds, all of it. It's out there for you. Why are you going to pay more somewhere else to lift the same weights? Was that tone?
That was a little bit of tone.
It was a little bit of tone. But hey, Planet Fitness, it's the best deal in American consumerism, everybody. Go to planetfitness.com. Your fitness is essential.
Let's just do Dr. Pierce and sign off.
Yeah, man. Dr. Pierce, too. He appears every Tuesday here on Big D Energy and every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards. He is our injury insider. Dr. Jeff Pierce, the Michigan Sports and Spine Center. And what can he do for you? If you're a weekend warrior, he's got Spenny and I straight on a couple of things. He can do the same for you. Go see him. If you're active, you got soreness that you can't quite explain, it keeps bothering you, Dr. Pierce is the move. Trust the guy that Darren McCarty trusted with his career. Scan the QR code on the screen or give them a call. The number on the screen. It's Dr. Jeff Pierce. He is our injury insider. All right, well, we did it. Another solid nickel package
Flannel, you
Friday.
were so close.
You almost made it through, Flannel.
Well, we can't bat 1,000. Actually, I've bat quite less than 1,000.
Oh,
but
it's
you know,
KG.
Hey.
He shows up for Bourbon Friday. He doesn't show up for work, but shows up for Bourbon Friday.
I was going to miss Bourbon Friday.
KG in the Bourbon Friday. Ha ha!
With the tall glass, too.
Yeah. I love it. Shout out New Holland, by the way, for the Beer Barrel Bourbon. All right, we'll be back at it on Monday. Myself and Sean Belizean, for Sam Flannel, for Chase, for Spencer Rector, for KG with the Bourbon Cup. My name is Neil Rule. Thanks for tapping in Big D Energy. Well, oh, hey, Detroit City, tomorrow, 4 o'clock, Detroit 50, tap in. I'm going to Florida tonight. I'll have that. And if you would be so cool, at 7:30, I'm doing Tampa Bay against Rhode Island. So put that on ESPN Plus, and you don't have to watch. You can walk out of the room. Whatever you want to do, just give me the click, all right? Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Well, see you later.